Once again, it's on.
It's on. It's on. Hey, so I'm gonna tell you guys, just so everybody knows, Ty kills it as the producer of this show. I'm just gonna tell everybody that's who does it, because I just looked at this thing, man, and I saw it looked like I was staring from a ship. I was on a little tiny boat trying to figure out how to swim. Scott was on the beach waving people in, and Ty was trying to jump through the timer.
First of all, we know the only person in this podcast that really can't swim is Scott. Let's just be real.
Oh,
hey, buddy. Not gonna say why. I'm just gonna say, whoa. If anybody ain't getting in the water, it's Scott.
Whoa, man!
I think he's got a better shot than us because his ass was on a boat. I don't even know what that's like.
Listen, man, that shot got fired fast. I wasn't expecting that one. Right in the chest.
After the week you've had, I just want to give you that one. You know what I'm saying?
Man, wow. Okay, that's what we're doing today. Okay.
It's like some kind of crazy. What is that? Some kind of crazy war call or something?
Man, listen,
it's like a whale.
But I have a swimming pool in the backyard that I actually get in and swim in, so I can swim. I'm one of the few. I'm one of the few, man.
Look, FYI, it was a joke. Please don't cancel us.
That's okay.
That was just a joke.
It's okay.
Cancel.
You know what's funny?
Out of there. Get him out of there.
Hey, my boy Daniel Street. You know, we talked about him last week. Hey, that dude actually is like a damn professional swimmer. I can't.
Right.
He from College Park, like for real College Park. Like, hey, that dude's a damn beast in the pool. So I ain't talking shit. I mean, I am, but I ain't mean it. I'm sorry.
So funny thing about that timer thing that I did, and so I was in a meeting earlier this week for my job, and I got bored, and I started messing with that. So I did that for it took me about 45 minutes to put all those little airborne operations in there. But yeah, it's a combined arms breach. Al is on there, you know, Matt's bringing us in, Scott's got on the other side of the water. You know, I'm jumping in. You know, we're about to do this thing. So
see, I knew that's who it was.
You the man. Like Matt said, man, you are the man when it comes to this stuff right here.
Obviously, I didn't look that hard, so I didn't.
You were just
flexing, bro.
Your room. Yeah.
No attention to detail. Me and Scott was doing the big things.
Push-ups and stuff in the background, getting ready.
Have fun. Do a couple extra for me.
So before we start, everybody who's listening, welcome. Hey, we as a crew, as a podcast team, we just want to give a second, since this is us, to sincerely thank each and every one of you guys and girls and ladies and men who tune in and watch our show, listen to our show, however it is that you tune in. We appreciate you. We do this for you guys. We hope it's entertaining. We hope you like it, but we did want to give a special shot to if anybody who was ever in here and we didn't call out your name or we didn't give you a shout out, just know that we know that you're watching. We feel you. We love you. And that's coming from the big high tizzle for shizzle dizzle straight to you. I know Matt feels the same. Ty feels the same. And Al feels the same. We talk about you guys every time when we get off. We appreciate the love, man. And we're here for you guys. So keep on bringing your people in. Keep on coming, man. We enjoy it. And this is what we're here for.
Yeah, we're up over 900 followers on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We're starting to stream on Twitter now. So thanks for the follows over there, everybody. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and I just seen Josh Morris jump on there. That dude's been on every podcast. I think he might be deployed right now. That dude's been deployed for a minute. He might be deployed watching this.
No wonder he's watching. He's bored as hell.
Hey, he is he's a real dude, bro. So he out there doing things. Hey, I appreciate you, Josh.
Yeah. Where you at right now, Josh? Where you at?
Yeah, log in, tell us where you're at. But I'm about to get Matt to hook you up with a triple threat T-shirt or one of the shirts, bro. You've been a loyal follower, bro. We're gonna hook you up.
For sure. Absolutely.
We're gonna hook you up.
You know what? We need to autograph it for him.
Yeah, you in the platoon for sure, bro. You wanted the originals, bro. You wanted the OGs.
Yeah.
Don't let it go to your head. Your mama's still smoking hot.
So this week, you know, as everybody maybe figured out already, it's only going to be us this week. We don't have anybody to come on, so we're gonna bring a whole bunch of entertainment to y'all. So this week, what we wanted to do, Al, the thanks Viagra, you the best in the world. We really have been trying to figure out like what bothers you or what pisses you off. So is there anything this week that's really pissed you off?
So I got a list, but I want to touch on one subject this week. And some of y'all on this podcast that are veterans and are probably in your 40s like me, right? 21 years old. Some of you young bucks ain't gonna get this yet because you don't have hairy ass cracks yet. But just wait. Eventually your ass is going to turn into something that you don't even recognize anymore, right? And what I mean is, what really pisses me off this week is when I take a shit and I go to the bathroom and I feel good. I take a shit. I play on the Triple Threat podcast, text thread. I'm in it having a good time. I take a fat shit. I feel good. Get up, feeling good. I leave, get up, go do some yard work. Maybe I don't do shit. Maybe I just go watch a little TV. I walk around the house for a couple seconds, and all of a sudden, my ass just don't feel normal. Like it feels like I didn't wipe it all. And I'm like, fuck, maybe it's sweat. What? Maybe it's butt sweat, but probably not. It's cold in my house. I ain't sweating. My wife keeps the AC on like 70. So I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go check and make sure I didn't accidentally shart myself or something. Like I ate some potato chips and I got anal leakage. I don't know. And I go back to the bathroom and I sit down and I haven't shit again. And I wipe and it looks like I never wiped again. So I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but it fucking pisses me off. I'm wasting fucking time and toilet paper because my ass, first time, clean shit I wiped it, I got a little blood on the paper. I'm like, my shit is fucking, you can eat this asshole if you really wanted to.
So what you're saying, Al, what you're saying right now.
Everybody on this call has done a fucking rewipe. If you're lying, you're lying. You're fucking lying. Yeah.
But Al, what you're saying right now is that you are the reason that nobody could get toilet paper during the pandemic because your ass had to rewipe after every go.
Well, the fucking pandemic fucked me because I didn't plan for the toilet paper shortage. So I was pulling out magazines, old newspapers. Like when you go hunting, if you got shit in the woods, you cut your pockets out of your pants. Just this is like some fucking real life shit for y'all. If you're ever hunting in the woods and you don't have nothing to wipe your ass with, the tops of your socks work really good. Your sleeves and the inside of your pockets, they make great toilet paper. So all my kids got no pockets anymore because during the pandemic, we had a shortage and my fucking ass literally was rewiping every time I shit. I don't know what happens. You get 40 years old, but just so y'all get ready, when you turn 40, your ass is not going to cooperate with the rest of your body.
That's not true. That's not a true statement.
Well, I got hairy butt. I should be real. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a true statement, man.
The hair on my head is the United States, is like the fucking French army, and they retreated to my back and my ass crack. Apparently, they gave up the fight and they ran backwards, and they've hunkered down in the good old frack. You know what I'm saying?
You need to invest in a bidet. I think that's how you said it. Is it a bidet, whatever?
Bro, I live in a trailer park. I got a garden hose coming through the fucking window right beside the toilet. Bro.
Then you got a homemade one.
Right, there you go.
You just got to turn it on and let it go.
I've done it sometimes. I'm like, I gotta get in the shower after this shit. I gotta get here use some fucking Dial soap. I don't know what's going on.
My wife made me boozy, man, because now if I go into a bathroom and there's not one of those in there, I'm not doing number 2, bro. I only do number 2 if there's a little thing, the little knob that sprays the water up to get you all fresh, and then you use the toilet paper and wipe, and everything is crystal clean. That's it, man. I've been on clean booty status since I've been here, man, and I love it that way.
Well, hey, old white people have fucking problems. Okay, we have these weird body. We don't have good genetics, bro. I got this weird. I don't know what it is. Like I don't understand. But I will tell you that shit is fucking pisses me the fuck off.
Wow.
So that has been what pisses Al Hero the fuck off.
Yeah, but really,
we'll change the name to the segment.
Didn't Alberto told you to school him on how to Ranger wipe?
Yeah, I'll have to find a video of my brother, but yeah, the Ranger wipe, just take a sock off,
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
But
you said the top of it.
If my wife comes in the bathroom tired, she sees fucking socks in the trash can because you can't flush them. She's gonna freak the fuck out. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're a 43-year-old man, and I'm still washing your drawers, and you still got doo-doo streaks. I'm like, my kids borrowed my drawers, bitch. That ain't me. Somebody else is wearing my shit. Damn.
Man. You said 43?
Yeah.
Man, listen, my birthday is Saturday, and I'm gonna be 49. I'm in my last years of 40s, man. I'm about to be 50.
Bro, you don't, bro. No homo, but you look like you young as fuck still. But say black don't crack, bro. You fucking, your ass gonna be 75 years old. Look like you do. I'm gonna be 75 and have fucking turkey neck shit hanging down, fucking bags, all kind of dumb shit, bro. I'm already great. Your beard's still black.
Scott has to be in makeup for 3.5 hours before the show.
Man, listen,
that motherfucker's 174 years old.
It's no makeup, man. But I will tell you, I will be honest because I'm being honest with my people who watching and the people who know me. I do dye my beard black though, because my thing is white, man. But I'm not ready.
So
I'm not ready for it yet.
Hey, you're like fucking the new bad
good.
boys when you got your boy in there. They
Yeah.
Mike Lowry.
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah,
You didn't pay the
Mike
internet
Lowry's
bill.
gonna
just
be
be.
all right.
Hey, I gotta keep it 100, man. I do, man. I dye
I
my
don't.
beard black.
The only reason I don't is because like this kind of like my signature, and my son's on here talking shit with his this motherfucker broke. Hey, let me tell you about this little dude real quick while he's on the podcast. So he broke his ankle at work, like crushed. It's nasty as shit. Broke his ankle at work. Sends me pictures. Like his shit looks fucked up. Like, ooh, they might have to cut that motherfucker off. And then had to go back to work. I was like, boy, hey, that hourly job shit sucks, bro. You got to pay those bills. I mean, he limped his ass on to work and went back to work. He's a heavy equipment operator. He's a veteran. He's a Marine vet, but he works at a construction heavy equipment like tree company. And his ass, I'm old, bro. Let me tell you something. Call me an old man, bro. By the way, I twist my fucking ankle. I'm taking the day off with pay, motherfucker. Benefits, bitch. Benefits. Oh, my boy Eric Keese on here. He's a senior chief bosun's mate.
Thinking about dyeing his beard too, though.
Nah, that's my boy. Hey, Eric.
Hey,
big shout out to my that was my dude. Hey, let me tell you about Eric. I'm sure you know Scott because he was a recruiter for me in Ohio. Like he was a reserve recruiter. Oh, that dude right there, bro. He ain't no punk. Eric's ass. I'd have to throttle his ass back. Like, hey, bro, you can't put your fucking hands on applicants and people's family. Like that dude's like, I'll fuck his ass up. Like Eric Keith is a fucking real gay. How you know Eric?
Eric in Chicago, right? Eric was in Chicago for a minute, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think I know Eric Keith in the Go Lock in Chicago.
Hey, Ty. So pull that. Yeah, there you go. Leave that right there. Pull that back up. Talking about them Bills kicking my ass, man. I want to see that. So, Al, what's in that profile picture? That thing look different. It ain't just him.
That's my front door. That's him getting engaged. That's him ruining ruining his fucking life. That's what he's doing. He's gonna get married and all the shit. Him and his girlfriend, like they young. All the shit y'all do, son. Let me remind you, you're marrying her representative. The person you're marrying is not who's going to turn up when y'all are married for about a year or two. All the things you're like, hey, girl, you want to go to the bedroom and put your mouth on me? And she's like, my stomach hurts. Just wait, bro. Just wait.
So it worked out for you twice. I mean, it worked out for me once, right? Like it works. If you find the right person, you'll be all right. Yeah. I'm lucky, though. Becky sticks around and puts up with my shit. So I just want to tell her thank you for that, for sure.
Thank you, Becky.
Yeah, you're a saint, Becky, because I wouldn't let his ass lay on top of me, even on a long deployment. I'm just just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying?
Depends on what country you're in.
Yes, I told you I know Eric Keith, man. I told you I don't forget, man.
Josh Morris must be having a couple of drinks. He must got a couple of drinks in his system. Look.
He said the only difference between a wedding and a funeral is the music that they played. That's crazy.
Here's what he said. Look, looks like Albert Hero's wearing a jockstrap in his face. You know what? I would say some shit, but I don't want to offend your beautiful, amazing mother, who is a fucking saint, and she should have aborted your stupid ass.
Well, she is listening to you right now.
Yeah.
She is at the house with them. He told us earlier in the podcast.
I wish
my mom is right here with me.
I wish I had a picture. His mom is beautiful, like bro. Like if I was, bruh.
So out of respect for the mom, you have started now a countdown timer of 5 minutes that you have to speak without saying the F word. Out of respect from his beautiful mom.
I got it. Just for mama. Just
5 seconds.
Just for mama. Not saying it. I'm not going to drop the F bomb at all.
There you go.
I'm just not going to talk at all.
You ain't going to talk for 5 minutes?
No.
Now, so we know that's not going to work.
No, I got it.
How about you tell us things that piss you off without saying the F bomb?
No, it pisses me off.
5 minutes.
Josh Morris. He pisses me off because he's one of those young veterans like we talked about earlier. Who is like, oh, you're old guy and you're retired. Y'all need to remember where the heck we came from, right? Mm-hmm. You better respect your elders, bro. Because,
oh my gosh.
And what's going to happen if he doesn't? What's going to happen if he doesn't, Al?
We're going to have a long, nice conversation.
You can't do it.
You don't respect your elders. I'm going to pray for you. First of all, like I'm going to get on my knees and I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for serenity. I'm going to pray for peace and wisdom and patience for you. And then I'm probably going to ask your mom out on a date. If April ever leaves me, Joshua Morris, your mom is beautiful and she's amazing. And I'm going to ask her out to dinner. And we're just going to go to dinner. Nothing crazy. But I'm not going to tell you how dinner went. So you'll never know. You'll sit in the rest of your life wondering what happened.
Man.
Oh my goodness!
Damn,
This is crazy.
Dang, he said I lied to him. No, I did not tell you about the Navy, bro. I gave you all the. I gave you some of the truth.
Isn't he still in?
Yeah, I made.
It couldn't
goal,
have been
bro.
that bad.
Thank you for helping me make goal on mission day. You made it. He made a 17 on his east in my living room, in my kitchen, pretty much eating dinner at the house. Made a 17, and I Michael Vicked his behind all the way to MEPS, and he cut a good score and became a EO.
Nice.
Just like Matt. Just
That's right.
EOs.
They all got the best scores for sure.
Well, this is what I'm wondering. Because Matt, you're so easygoing and cool. What pisses you off, bro? That's what I want to know. What pisses Matt Johnson off? That's what I want to know.
Well, first off, I don't know if I'm always that easy and cool. I think I just I do a good job of showing that maybe. But if we were to talk about what pisses me off, I've been away for work this week, and I've been watching television. I don't normally get to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've been watching television, I'm watching like all the different channels, and all I see is a whole bunch of people complaining. So what really pisses me off in the world right now is everybody wants to complain about what they don't have instead of working to get something that they want. So what I mean by that is I watch like all the channels, you see the commercials, you see all the things these people are complaining about. I'm tired of seeing a medicine commercial every 30 seconds for something that's wrong with you. Like there's got to be something wrong. So we're going to give you all these medications. And then when you hear all the side effects, I don't know why anybody even called the number, but obviously they are, because now they're still showing the commercials. But then you see just nothing but people complaining. Like that really does piss me off, because there's a lot of people in this world that are out there working hard to make a difference in things, and they're overshadowed simply by just people that don't give a shit and just want to complain about everything. That's really what pisses me off in the world today.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Now we're talking some real talk. So guess what? Man, you are not immune. Mr. T.Y. Cobb, the silent assassin himself, the man, the mellow, you know what I'm saying, the easy type going fellow. T.Y., what are some things? What is something
Insurance
that
commercials
pisses
with
you
old
off?
people.
What pisses me off?
Yep. Go ahead. Put yourself on the Uno screen. I want to get up close and personal and know.
I think the biggest thing that pisses me off is disrespect and or ignorance, and a lot of times those two things go together. So I hate disrespect of people, ideas, something they may have in mind that they want to do. But the disrespect and ignorance really comes when people complain about who the president may be, or who, what the president did, whether it be Republican or Democrat, but they don't even know who their mayor is. They don't even know who their city councilman is. They don't even know the people that run the state government. They don't even know what kind of entities are out there to help you know. They don't attend the town halls.
Preach,
that
brother.
shit makes me mad.
All right, there you go.
You know what's
Preach.
crazy?
Hey, hold on, Matt. When Ty started with like ignorance and disrespect, I was like, he's about to name drop me, bro. I'm about to get Ty's about to name drop me on this podcast.
No.
Like
Okay.
our hero, Mr. Thank You Viagra, you the best, is about to get name dropped.
Yeah, but in the pandemic, right, they found out really quick that those people you just said, Ty, city councilmen, mayors, local government, all those people, they didn't know who they were out here complaining about them. But the reason that all these small businesses got shut down is because that's what they decided to do at a local level. So real quick, people figured out, oh man, there is more than just that one person that can get me. And so I agree with
our
that
judge,
too.
our county judge.
Yeah.
Everybody knew who she was when COVID happened.
So
right.
we're not letting DJ off the hook, bro. You can't put us on a hot seat and be like, what? So come on. And you can't.
Hold on. Let me finish
Go
one
ahead.
thing real quick. So I have a kind of an announcement, but it's along the lines of where that conversation came from. I was talking about this with my father, who came to visit. He's here at my house, not right now. I think they went to see Tatum do his second degree black belt test.
Shout out Tatum.
Shout out Tatum.
Tatum about to beat people
but
up.
I was talking to him about, he's like, do you like or dislike Trump? And so I told him my opinion, and then it turned into, people want to complain about the president, but the president is really just someone that's chosen to be a figurehead of the government. They have a lot of power, and they are the most powerful person in the free world. But so that was my argument. But let me tell you what the announcement is. So my father is here, I'm here, my daughter was here, and she brought her baby here.
Oh,
So there was
wow.
4 generations of Cobbs
Oh,
in my
yeah.
house today.
Oh,
So that is the
that's
highlight of
awesome.
my day.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
bro.
mention no names. I know people are trying to keep their privacy and everything, but
Yeah,
4
yeah.
generations of Cobbs in my house
That's awesome.
today. I think
love it,
was
bro.
awesome.
That's what's
Hey,
up.
Happy for you. So
now, you, DJ Royalty,
Yeah, come on, bro.
Without further ado,
you can't get off the hook. What's up?
He got
Okay.
list.
Yeah, well, I'll do it like this,
He's been taking notes.
because there's a lot of things that's pissed me off this week, but I'm gonna just say this: the thing that pisses me off is that men, in general, are loved based on a condition. You got women, dogs, you know what I'm saying? Women, animals, and kids are loved unconditionally. But
Facts.
men are loved based off of a condition. And that pisses me off because we don't get the love that we deserve at times because we're held to such a standard in such a condition that we don't get the just due that I think that we deserve sometimes. And that pisses me off. I'm just being honest.
Nope. Hey, 100. I didn't think about that, but you're absolutely right. No. Hey, well, he's right though. Like,
Yeah.
there's unfortunately there's people out there, if their husband or their significant other lost their job and was poor or was whatever. And I'll tell you a quick story. So my daughter's 9 years old. She is the love of my life. I would burn down. Pick a country, pick a state for this little girl. Like there's 3 women in my life that I would go to prison for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like prison. I'm not built for prison. Like I already told you about my problems. I ain't built for prison. But my daughter,
You look like you're built for prison. You look like you're built for prison.
No, that's the reason why. That's the reason why he's having that leaky butt syndrome from that goddamn prison shit.
Get your cornbread.
Okay, so I served a little bit of time in Muskogee County Correctional, but whatever, right? You're only gay for the stay. Stop hating. But my mom, my daughter, and my wife, right? Those are women that I would murder everybody for. But even my daughter at 9 years old it was funny at the time, but it goes back to what Scott said. When my wife was asking her, hey, are you going to get married? She's like, I'll never get married. And if I do, my husband is going to take my last name because Hero's a cool name. And I know she's young and she doesn't get it, right? No big deal, right? But then my wife said, well, what if your husband is poor? And she was like, I would never even talk to him. I would never marry a poor man. My wife's like, what if he's very sweet? He loves you. He treats you with respect, but he works at a gas station. She was like, I wouldn't date any man that works at a gas station. But dudes, like, I love you. I don't care where you work at. I mean, now, granted, if Beyonce worked at a gas station, I don't think she'd be with Jay-Z. But the fact is, Scott is absolutely right. And the difference is, like, I don't teach my daughter that, right? I don't, but it just socially and the way that she's hardwired is, my daddy's got money. I don't have a lot of money. I got bills and child support checks and shit. But hey, my dad gives me this. So the next man is going to do the same thing or more, or he ain't worthy. And it's like that, bro. If like you said, bro,
our love is based
condition.
off of what we can do, right? So
now we're all married and we all feel like, our wives are different because we've been married for a long time. So it is a little bit different. We've got longevity in the game. And my wife was with me when I was nobody and I was an E1 and I was poor and I didn't have shit. And we've been through hell and back, with being married and then getting divorced and then getting remarried. Like it's like Jerry Springer, like for real. But I know for a fact that maybe early on, there's a lot of people out there who, your man loses his job and he's going through hard times. You may not do it, but there ain't a woman in the world who's not going to think about or talk to her mama and be like, this dude ain't got no money and we struggling for bills. I'm out. Like I'm not going to mention no names, Scott. Not going to mention no names. But not going to do it. But I'll tell you this. I know a woman, not going to mention no names, that when her husband of a couple of years got deathly sick in the hospital, she literally was like, I'm not paying his bills. I'm out. Like I'm gone. Like he can't work. I'm out. So yeah, you're right, bro. It's conditional. My dogs are higher on the totem pole than I am. I
Oh,
guarantee
yeah.
it.
Well, you know, I say that, and not to say that my situation or my wife loves me based on the condition. I think it's general thing, and it goes back to kind of like what you were saying. Is when you look at it, say, well, you hire a man if he works at a gas station, but guess what? That job is a condition. That might be the condition that it is right now, but doesn't mean that somebody who once worked in a gas station can't be the president of a company one day. But where he stands at right now, you're basing how much love or what you're going to, you know what I'm saying, what you're willing to do for that person based off of what his situation is at the time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Your dogs, man, my dogs piss me off every day. I come home, they eat up my hats, they take me, you know what I'm saying? I want to kick the shit out of the dog. But guess what? Every day when my wife and daughter come home, they pick the dogs up and they hug. Oh, look at, he's so cute. He's so cute. I don't get none of that.
Oh, no, bro. No. And so it's funny. Me and my wife were talking about this the other night because I was joking with her. I was like, you know what's sad? A woman could not have a man, not be married, not have a man, right? And decides she wants a baby. She could go to the sperm bank, bro, and pull out a catalog and fertility clinic, no shit, and kind of pick. Because I was joking, I was like, you know, because we were looking up, we were just bullshit. I was like, I wonder how much it is to donate sperm. Like, we had a little extra money for some like extra. I need a case of Natty Light. How much is it? So she looked it up. It's anywhere from $35 to $100 to donate sperm. We looked at plasma too, but the sperm thing got me because I was like, I can go there. They're gonna look at me and be like, nobody's really gonna want
right.
A 5'6" dad bod, balding, grumpy old man, $35 for you, sir. Like I'm like, whoa,
right.
Like
you
there
might
ain't
get
nobody.
$17.
Hey, I might get $17.50 with some change.
You know
bro.
that baby's gonna come out. The baby's gonna come out like, what the fuck?
Now I will say, and I haven't said F in a while. I think it's 5 minutes up. So fuck yeah, fuck, right? But
hey, it was pretty good.
So here's
that was
the
13 minutes.
Yeah, he did.
I tried. So I will say, when you think about it like that, I'm like, damn, ain't nobody gonna go into a catalog and be like, ooh. Now here's the truth. Y'all don't know. They don't know me. They see me, and they're like, oh. But what they don't know is I produce beautiful children. I produce big, exotic. Now maybe they're not mine. Maybe my wife has some explaining to do. I don't know. But for what I know, I produce some.
You're taken care of.
Some dark, sexy, long-haired, big motherfuckers in this world. So maybe you should go in there and pick the little goofy-looking dude with the bald head and the dad bod. Pick him. But you know, you're right. I mean, they can go in there and categorize and pick on some real shit. They go in there and decide based on these stipulations what they want. You know what I mean? So the world, and I guess my problem is this: the world has almost made women, and it bothers me that it's not important. Like a woman is not really a woman or not independent if she's a traditional woman. If she takes care of her household and she doesn't work, she works from home and she cooks dinner and she takes care of her husband and her children. And they look at that like that's not a job. Like that's the most important job, in my opinion, that a woman does, right? She raises these children. She makes sure, I mean, there's single moms who do the same thing, but the world has made it where, or this country and the culture has made it where that's not a good thing, right? If you're a woman, you should be out there working. I mean, look at social media. Look at the videos that are pumped out. Like if you ain't showing your ass on TV, or you're not twerking on social media, or you're not doing these things, then you're not sexy. You're not beautiful. You're not a real woman. You're not this, right? Women should have the ability to be traditional if they want. It should be praised that you have a woman who has the ability. My wife's way smarter than me, way better looking than me, just way better all the way around. And she has the ability, if she wanted to go out and get a million careers and do more shit than I could ever do, right? But she chooses to stay home and be traditional, right? And take care of this house and take care of my children and take care of me. And my wife was outside today cutting the fucking grass.
Ooh-wee.
So you married up and she settled as well?
Pretty much. But in today's society, like Scott was kind of alluding to, like my daughter's 9 years old and she's already getting pressured at 9 years old to fit into this societal conformity. Like you have to have a man with money and you have to do this. But here's the problem too, ladies. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all get a man who has money and cakes you up and takes care of you, and that shit still ain't enough, right? You get that, and that shit still ain't enough because you know what else, right? I mean, damn. I was watching, I don't know, what's that ridiculousness show, and Floyd Mayweather was on there on the show with a beautiful woman. They were engaged. The fucking rock on her hand, bro. Whew. To me, I like, damn, it's like a piece of windshield glass. Like, damn. But then you Google Floyd Mayweather right now, and that ain't who he's dating and who he's with. Like, the world has told women that you don't need a man and you don't need this. And if you do these things, like, you're good. But if a woman decides, I want to be Scott, your wife, she wants to take care of you. If she decided, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to take care of you, like you were in the military, you travel. My wife has been with me for 23 years almost, right? I've traveled the globe. I've served in combat. She's put me back together more times than I can count. But because she's not working or because of whatever, this world is like, you know what? That ain't good enough. Like, you need to be independent. Right? That shit bothers me crazy. That a traditional woman. Go ahead, Ty.
So I tend to agree with you that people should butt out if somebody wants to be a stay-at-home mother. But I will say that I believe that the contention of the female delegation was the fact that there was a glass ceiling, perceived or reality otherwise. So I think that's what a lot of people wanted. I think that's what they wanted, there to be no glass ceiling. For instance,
relate to work.
In relation to anything, into career field, agree. Education, being able to drive. I mean, I'm talking world. I'm not just talking America. Women couldn't drive very short years ago in Saudi Arabia. I think that was the last country, really. But so here's the thing: is my wife has been in the corporate world since she was about 17, 18. Working for all those Merrill Lynch and all that kind of stuff, and so she is definitely the breadwinner in my family. She makes more money than I do combined. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all for women that want to do what they want to do. But my wife is a superstar. Like, she does that, and she takes care of my kid better than I do. But shout out to my ex-wife. I'm not a hater of my ex-wife. My ex-wife was a great mother, and she would have part-time jobs, and then most of the time she would stay home. So I'm for both. But I do think that the biggest point of contention was the fact that women did not want a glass ceiling anymore because there was a perceived glass ceiling or in reality a glass ceiling. The wage gap and everything. I think that's something to be talked about. But my mother went from being a single mother of me when I was like 3 or 4 years old till like I was 6, not really having a real job, to getting educated, becoming a nurse. Registered nurse, was a nurse for like 30 years. And then by the end of her career, before she passed away in 2007, she was the nurse manager of freaking hospitals and on boards of the hospitals. So, I see it both ways, but here's the biggest thing that I see. There's people want to be able to tell you how to feel about, some type of what your marital status is, what your pronouns are. So don't think you can tell me, if I'm going to stay home, you can't talk shit. Or if I want to go be the CEO of a company, you can't talk shit to a woman, because they can do what they want to. And that kind of drives me to something you said earlier. And I know we got to pay the bills. I'll be real quick. But something you said earlier about the kids, and kids do the craziest things. I believe that our kids, military children specifically, are way more resilient because of all the shit they had to go through.
Fucking hands down.
Imagine living with Scott, Al, Matt, and myself. We have big personalities. So shout out to my 6 kids. I wish we had the wah right now, but shout out to the kids for being so resilient and being able to put up with our big ass personalities. I mean, it's great. I know we got to pay the bills, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I like I said, I 100% agree. I think my biggest, having a daughter and being my youngest daughter, like, we talk about shit that pisses off. It's more scares me than pisses me off that we've so sexualized females, right? You have to fit into this mold. You have to look a certain way, and you have to twerk your ass. You got to do this before you're considered beautiful or sexy. That shit worries me because I do have a 9-year-old daughter, right? So I do worry the direction that society's going in, right? Especially social media and all this craziness. It does worry me, right? Because my daughter, she goes to a private school now, right? So we put her in a private school, and the first thing she was worried about is I've got to wear this long skirt, and I got to wear this polo shirt, and I got to wear these, and because her and what the way the world is like she's not pretty anymore, right? She's not cute anymore because of like she has to wear this uniform. I'm like, fuck, I wore a uniform that it wasn't so flattering all the time. So
no, I want you to meet everybody.
What happened?
Brooklyn.
Hey, I'm sorry. My dad just walked in. Say hello.
What's up, Papa Bear?
Hey. How you doing?
He just walked in the door. Did y'all go eat? Yeah. Okay.
He's missing something. He's missing a beer in his hand. You need to go grab one of those. Like, what's going on? You coming in this room naked, damn near.
They just walked in the front door, so I wanted to shout him out.
And David Willis just said the same thing. Like, hey,
Matt's mic's muted. I know he was trying to say something, but his mic was muted. Still can't hear him.
Damn, bro.
It says your mic's not connected, Matt.
I'm going to speak for Matt. I think Al Hero is the greatest human being on the planet. I only wish I could be the man that he is and that I can be as sexy as he is.
Nice try.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Damn. Thanks, Matt.
So I want to bring something up on what you brought up, Scott, and what we've been talking about after we pay the bills, because I have a question on that. I want to see what you guys think about it.
Okay.
But I mean, without further ado, though, for everybody out there that supports this, we're going to have to go let those people pay the bills, let them know that we appreciate them, and then we'll be back in a minute.
Get ready to groove to the electrifying sounds of DJ Royal T, the maestro of mixing who knows how to turn any event into an unforgettable dance sensation. Royalty Entertainment is here to bring you the ultimate musical experience straight from the ones and twos in your ears and through your body to activate them dancing shoes. Get ready to sweat, party, and have a good time while your DJ needs are being blazed by none other than me, DJ Royal T. I have spent years crafting together a DJ entertainment empire that promises a customized blend of musical tracks, mix and mastering, and top quality sound, all while providing a vibrant ambiance to accommodate any of your DJ needs. Royalty Entertainment Services is your premier one-stop shop for top-tier musical entertainment and is hosted by yours truly. For more information, reservations, and booking, feel free to look around the website at godjroyalty.com. I am DJ Royalty, and this has been another Royalty Entertainment production. Yeah.
Got Your Six Culture is a veteran-owned t-shirt company that's making a powerful impact, one t-shirt at a time. These guys are simply badass. Whether you're a proud veteran or a family member or a patriot at heart, you're going to find the perfect tee that speaks directly to your soul. But wait, there's more. When you shop at Got Your Six Culture, you're not just supporting veterans, you're supporting American small business. You're also supporting the dream of veteran-owned small businesses around the world, and these guys put heart and passion into everything through designing all their t-shirts right here in the USA, ensuring you have top-notch quality in every design that you purchase. Show your appreciation for veterans and first responders today, and head over to GotYourSixCulture.com and browse their amazing collection of products. And guess what? Our friends at Got Your Six have a badass treat special for our listeners. Use the code TRIPLETHREAD at checkout and get an exclusive 15% discount on your purchase. So show your support for our heroes of country and community. Shop at GotYourSixCulture.com right now. And don't forget to use the code TRIPLETHREAD at checkout for an additional 15% off. Hashtag same flag, same oath.
So our number one priority is taking care of veterans like you. So just got a couple of bits of paperwork for you to sign.
Great. And these? All of this?
Oh yeah, just a few more. And these.
Don't you have an easier way to do this whole thing?
And these, and we'll be done. Whether you're buying your first home, refinancing an existing mortgage, or trying to lower your monthly payment, Veteran Mortgage Solutions have the resources, knowledge, and experience to help. No down payment required. Easy approval process. Minimum 580 credit score, competitively low interest rates, limited closing costs. Don't keep going back and forth proving your income with other providers. Visit VeteranMortgageSolutions.com.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark.
All right, and we're back.
I thought
And
it
we're
was one of
back.
our new sponsors.
Hey,
Yeah, well,
so
I didn't
No.
want Al to be left out, so I
Hey,
wanted him to
yeah,
have
yeah.
one too.
So Josh dropped us a little message about his wife having a master's degree in psychology, and she's a stay-at-home mom. No, absolutely, Josh. Your wife's amazing. You gave me too much credit about what I did to get you in the military, and you give me way too much credit to say that you wouldn't be where you're at. You were always headed on that track, right? You always had goals and aspirations, and you were raised by I know I joke with you and talk about your mom, but you were raised by an amazing woman. You were raised by a woman who cared about you and pushed you and drove you, right? And then you married a woman like that, right? Who supports you. She's in your corner. She's got your back. So, if anybody you want to give some credit to, and I appreciate it, brother, trust me. And I love you like nobody else, right? But thank your mom. If she's sitting beside you tonight, tell your mom you love her and thank her, because if it wasn't for her and all her sacrifice and all the shit that she did and I knew you as a little young whippersnapper, knee high to a motherfucking grasshopper. I knew you, right? If it wasn't for her sacrifice and her drive and determination to push you to be a man and to raise a man, and she raised not just you, but your brother too. And hey, hats off to her. And then to your wife, who came in and supported you throughout your military journey. And so I guess I want to give a big shout out to all the military spouses and the wives and the moms and all these people who stand by your veterans and stand by this community and support us, right? And have been there through the worst times in our lives, some of the greatest times in our lives. Like, we deploy and we have a blast and we're partying, having a great time sometimes. And you're at home raising our children, or you're at home holding down the home front, working full-time jobs just to pay the bills. While we out there pissing away in Thailand, you know what I'm saying? I'm lady boys. But I don't think we give enough credit to our wives or to our military spouses, right? To say, hey, if we only are where we're at, and we're only what we are and who we became because we had a strong woman or a strong man. It isn't a strong husband or a strong support system in our corner. And whether that's your moms or your pops or whoever it was, you're only as strong as that unit. That's why this podcast for me is so important, because I've got a new family, right? I've got my extended family, but I got a brotherhood on this podcast that supports me. And there's times when I call Ty or I call Matt or I call Scott, and I'm having problems, right? I need somebody to talk to. That's what's important about this veteran community and what we're trying to do on this podcast. It's important because not only this is not for us. Like, does this help me with my PTSD and my issues? Absolutely. But this is a platform for all veterans and anybody who wants to get on and talk. But no, big shout out to Josh, to your wife, to your family, and to all the military spouses, whatever, right? Who supported their veterans to get them to where they're at. And the sad truth is, you guys are going to have to continue to support us and foster relationships and work with us, because our sometimes for us, our wars, they didn't end when we left the battlefield, or our deployments didn't end when we came off deployment, right? That stuff stays with us probably till the day we die. So I just want to give props to all those out there who support veterans and support their loved ones, because, man, it's tough. I promise you that. So, nope. Thank you, Josh. Love you. I really, really love it, bro.
Shout out to my cousin Jimmy Kirby up in Michigan listening. He
Big
said,
Jimmy.
Hey, Dad, cousin Jimmy said, tell Uncle Sam.
I love it.
He said it just like that, too.
Hey,
Mom, more meatloaf. Mom, meatloaf.
Al, I figured out, if we want you to stop cursing, we should just let you talk nice about people. Because when you talk nice about people,
Right,
you're going to get all crazy and everything. But
fuck Josh Morris.
There we go. See, I just got to get you riled up. So, Ty, I know that what Al was just talking about actually could lead into something pretty big for what we're about to do, right? We can talk about the events after this, but don't we have somebody here to share some stuff with us?
Oh, yeah. Let me. I was going to bring him in a second. Yeah, he's the next slide. We can talk about this real quick.
Okay. So for everybody out there, our friends at Project Zero, if you want to bring that back up, Ty, they got a couple events left for the year. As always, veteran first responder, that's the requirement. Just reach out to them, go on the website, contact them. They'll get some information from you, and then you'll get to go have some fun. Looks like the next event is a Jeep excursion over at Paladuro. I heard that's a good time. And if you get in Kyle's Jeep, make sure you take it to the limit so that he can freak out, because that thing's brand new and you don't want it to roll. But you want to see him panic, ask him to drive his Jeep.
Yeah. So, the podcast is really to help veterans talk about their mental health, and not only talk about the mental health and bring awareness, but we actually want to get out there and do something about it. Our friend Kyle Shudik at Project Zero, his motto is just get out there. So, I mean, what we want veterans to do is not only understand that it's okay to talk about some of the things that afflicted you during the 20 plus years we were at war and deploying all the time, but we also want to tell you that you also need to get out there and do something, like whether it's music, whether it's therapy, whether it's immersion into some new hobby you may have. Make sure that you're doing everything that you can do to just get out there. So go do some of these events. It's really fun. So without further ado, Berto Fight, Army veteran. He's a licensed clinical social worker. He's one of my best friends in the whole world. He deployed with me, I think, twice. So Berto Fight, we're going to bring him on right now.
All right.
What's up, Berto? How you doing?
Doing good. How you guys doing, man? I've been listening. I got some hot takes on some of the stuff you guys have been talking about.
Nice.
Yeah. So you sent me this slide that you wanted me to talk about. So do you want me to show the slide and then you can talk about it, or do you just want to wax poetic about it right now?
Yeah. Let's put it up on the screen.
All right, gotcha.
Work in substance use recovery, right? And we work in trauma and cognitive behavioral therapy and the whole shebang. Dopamine is the main thing, right? So alcohol and drugs are basically artificial dopamine that's entering your system. Dopamine is possibly the most important chemical. Without dopamine, you do not learn. You do not get reinforced to continue learning. So, what happens when you get like a 98 on a test, right? You feel really happy, you're ecstatic, you're rewarded for the work that you put in. That then releases dopamine. So when we're trying to, regain happiness, get zen, do all the things that veterans talk about that we sometimes don't do a really good job of, is finding those things that give you dopamine. So what gives you dopamine? Two things. Number one, it is things that you feel a sense of mastery over. So like talking with Ty over tech, right? About tech stuff, about the intro that he did with the timer. All of that stuff, engaging him and talking about that is going to generate dopamine for him, which in turn will make him happier overall. The second way that you get dopamine is by doing anything that you find pleasurable. Right. And so that could be sex. That could be, partying with the boys, could be throwing some tracks on wax, could be whatever you want it to be. The key here is getting out and doing it. So, kind of like, I was empathizing with all of y'all because Monday I just threw out my back for no reason, just getting out of the bed. But I had to find things to distract. And that is ultimately the key. When you have things that are ruminating, just running around in your head, find something that is distracting, but also rewarding. Those are the things that are going to get you to the next step, right? And so it can be challenging. Like, I've worked this week alone, I've only worked 10 hours. I've had to call out because of my back. Well, that's not rewarding to me, right? I find my job so rewarding that I could work 12 hours a day and not even bat an eye before I came home. So the main thing here is dopamine. It's the reward chemical, is what keeps everything reinforced. This is why punishment doesn't work. Punishment does not work when we're talking about curbing a behavior. What punishment does is it makes the person realize that if I can trick you, I won't get in trouble. I won't get that consequence, because that consequence is coming from you. It's not coming from a principle. It's not coming from an ethic. It's coming because mom and dad said, they said so, or that NCO said, you know what, I've done told you enough times. Here's the consequences. So keep that in mind. Dopamine is one of the most important chemicals. Oxytocin, that's your love chemical, right? There's a lot of research right now with LSD and ecstasy and all of this stuff, man. And I got some opinions, and I've read some of the research. There is promise, but there is nothing guaranteed. So, feeling like, going back to what Scott was talking about, right? That men are conditionally loved. Well, here's my retort to that. consider Liza Mundy's point in a book called The Richer Sex, where what we're seeing today is more women graduating from college than men. So who do you think are going to be the moneymakers in 10, 15 years? Who do you think are going to be the breadwinners? It ain't the dudes, right? So we're actually seeing more males being stay-at-home parents than we are women in the traditional gender roles. But feeling appreciated, feeling loved, all of those things, that's going to give you the oxytocin. The serotonin is mood stabilizer. That's breathing, that's yawning. Those are things that we know how to do from basic marksmanship of reducing the heart rate, reducing the adrenaline chemicals, the fight or flight system. All of those things we know how to bring down. We just choose not to, likely because most of our training in the military taught us we need to flow with that emotion, and that's what's going to get us to survive, right? So we don't do a really good job of de-escalating that. And then the other one is endorphin, the painkiller. Well, guess what? Distraction will do that, right? If your ankle hurts, if I punch you in the shin, or if I punch you in the shoulder, you ain't going to think about your ankle no more, right? So think of distraction, things that you can do for distraction that can enhance what you're going through, right? And nothing's permanent, man. Death, taxes are the only two things that are permanent in life, dude. So there you go.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like that, man.
Hey, Berto, you the man, bro. For one, I think we might be related, bro, because your bald head and that beard, you a sexy ass dude. But hey, no, I appreciate it because I was actually, I'm on a podcast. I'm reading the slides, taking notes over here. Like, oh, I need to.
That's
I
right.
The slides.
I need
You
to
sent
hug
them to me.
somebody. Send it to me. I need to hug somebody, pet a dog.
It's the delivery.
Berto,
But
I'm
listen-
sorry about.
but listen
I'm
to this,
sorry
though.
about the
I
way
like-
I did it. I
No,
didn't know
go
how I
ahead.
was going to produce that until you started talking. So, like
Uh-huh.
always, you wax poetic. I appreciate that.
I appreciate
Hey,
it.
man.
I could put him
What
in
we
front
do.
of people back when we were in the military, and it didn't matter what the subject was. I'd be like, "Fight! They need a class on so and so. Go!" And he would just be like, "Bam!"
Thank you about
That's right.
about dopamine. I'm dopamining that shit out of it right now.
Right. I mean, think about it. That's where the term dope comes from. It comes from the fact that is the chemical that is hacked in the brain when you consume illicit drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say illicit, but I consume a lot sometimes. Not all the time. But I do feel good. You know what I'm saying? No, I appreciate it, Berto. I actually learned. I don't learn a whole lot in my life, but I learned some shit tonight. Appreciate you, my brother.
I've heard you talk. I know.
Thank
Okay.
you, Berto.
So
We got you. We got
hey,
you.
Matt, you were saying something right before the break that you said that you was going to touch on, and it kind of slew by it a little bit. But I know that you're going to touch on something. I just want to circle back.
And so first, what I want to do is we got a new friend of the podcast that I was very, very fortunate to meet yesterday. So I want to give a big shout out to David Willis from the Homefront Sit Rep podcast for checking us out. Those guys are doing some good work on their own. So if you guys got some time, I know on Mondays and Tuesdays they got shows, so check them out 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to go back to the comment of men are loved unconditionally and all of that. So my question to you guys would be this. I feel like when I was younger in marriage, right, when you're poor and you don't have anything, when you're trying to grow and build, I think that then you're together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, for my wife and me, my wife is just like all of ours, been there for me through everything. She's put me back together a whole bunch of times, and she still does it today. But I remember when we had no money, we were trying to figure it out, and we were doing things, it was a stronger bond. I think that unconditional thing for some people sometimes comes later in life when you become successful. And now that you've had a taste of success and you know how we do in the military, you get promoted, you make more money, you spend more money, you do all these things that you want to live to a certain lifestyle. And so when things don't end up being like that, I think that's when that unconditional part comes out. So I guess my question to you guys is, do you agree with that? Or do you think that it's always unconditional? Because I'm on the fence of, I feel like in the beginning, like you're both there together, right? It's a dogfight. We're going to make it work. But when you get later on, and in those years, it should be easy when things get tough. I think that's when that unconditional stuff comes out sometimes.
I would argue a little bit with that, Matt.
Go ahead, Berto.
I would tell you that, problem solving early on in a relationship is fairly easy, right? Like we can figure it out, right? What's a couple bucks here? What's a couple bucks there? Get a part-time job, you do it, right? But as you get older, you don't have that energy to go out and do all of those other things, ancillary things to help resolve an issue. So I think part of it is that you have to grow together and be okay with having separate activities, right? My wife doesn't come out to do when I go racing, when I race my car, that's my thing. And she respects that as such. So when we come back, we have stories to tell. I mean, how many times have all your spouses been like, yo, we've heard that for like the 100th time. You need to stop that story.
No,
Yeah.
Right?
so Berto, I'm glad you said that, because my wife tells me that all the time. She says, "Hey, I like when I'm going to Houston. I'm pumped. I'm going to Houston this weekend to hang out with the fellas. I get to stay at old Ty Cobb's house, where I get to actually spend some time face to face with my brother and talk with him, and actually not just over the phone, right?" And my wife's like, to her, it's like you said, she's like, "That's good. I need you to have outlets. I need you to have friends, so that way I don't have to always be
your friend,
the friend or the sounding board." Because sometimes I don't. Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. She don't always agree with what I think or how I say shit. So she's like, "Man, I like the fact that you have outside influence." And I think you nailed it when you said, when you're younger, you're right. When you're younger, it's the honeymoon phase, bro. Everything is like, we're poor. Me and my wife we had one frozen pizza and I burnt the shit out of it. She was like, "We'll eat it." Like but now I think you grow and you mature in your relationship. And now like when I was young, I didn't tell my wife, like, "I don't like your shitty ass, whatever. I don't like this." Now we're to a point where if she doesn't like it, she just says, "I don't like it." Or if you know what I mean? It's a different growth. And I think you're right. It comes with maturity, and it comes with growth, and it comes with, people say all the time, and it drives me insane. "Oh, marriage is 100. You got to give it's 100, right?" Or it's you got to give 50%. The fact about marriage is it's 100% from you and 100% from her. Because if I do 50 and she does 50, what if I'm having a bad day and I'm at 30% and she's at 50? Then our relationship is at 70%. And I'm not a math guy, but I hope my numbers are right. But
it'd be 80.
You whatever, motherfucker. But you have 70 and 30, 70 and 50, 40, whatever. My point is,
you sound as complicated as VA math, bro.
Bro, yeah, whatever. But
he was a recruiter and had to try to make goal every month.
You have to give 100%, and so does your spouse, for y'all to have common ground, right? Yeah. So if I'm not 100%, and she is, at least together we're hard. You know what I'm saying? It's you have to grow together. And
again, I'm gonna retort that, right? Because here's the thing: I'm not 100% of the time, right? So there are challenging days that I'm like, if my wife and I had kids today, I could not take care of those kids because of the way my back is right now.
Right.
So I need her to step up to make that 100% total. So I think one of the things that people think is they continue to put gender roles or just roles in general. And the thing is, it's a team approach, right? If your lead gunner goes down, who's going to replace that lead gunner, right? There's no question. We train for this. Yes. However, in relationships, we don't train that way. And because I'm tired and my wife is tired, now we're playing, fisticuffs and trying to figure out who the hell's going to take out the trash. And that's not fair either, right?
Right, for sure. And I think Josh Morris had a comment in here that he said, wives are the best outlet because they tell the truth. Well, here's what I'll tell you. I feel like in the beginning you have that bond and you're working towards it to get better. But here's the other thing: as you get older and you get impatient, I think sometimes what happens is you look at things in the way that you want to see them, and that's what causes things to kind of like go awry, or you kind of have a little bit of an argument, or things just don't go as planned. What I meant by saying, when things get later in life and you don't have the same lifestyle or style of living, just one perception of that can knock it out of whack. Good examples are, just what Josh said. Your wife's there to be an outlet for you, but I do think that sometimes we could be too much of an outlet to our wives when we get out, because, now that you're home every day and you see them every day, when you should be, and this is just an opinion from me, when I should be appreciating everything that my wife does for me, there's times where she doesn't get the same level of love, care, and respect that I should give her every single day. And I'll tell her right now in front of all these people that are watching that I'm sorry, and I wish I did it better. And I'm working on it, but I do feel like the more we work at it, the better it gets, because it helps me start to realize the things that I should, right? Like when we come back, we were so used to what we've already talked about forever in this podcast. I had people that I had to lead. I had people that were responsible for me. I had people that I had to push, move, and motivate every single day. And then when I get out, I still want to do that, but there's no one to do that with. So I get frustrated, and that's where the things come in. But like I said, I think if we slowed down, Berto, to your point, right? Like you got to look at that chart you just put up and realize what each one of those things do. Because as I read that chart, it kind of was great for what I wanted to bring up for the end, because it made me think about that, right? If you take this chart and apply these things, it'll help you look at things in a point of view where it'll make it better for your relationships, not just with your spouse, but I mean, even with like your kids, with your colleagues, with everybody out there. And I think, that's one thing looking at this chart, Berto, I appreciate that, man, because it'll help. I know for me, it'll help me move forward to make better decisions.
Yeah, for sure.
And Berto, we got a question. I'm sorry, Scott, but you got a question too. For Berto, it's not for us, I'm sure. So I was going to let Berto. It says Josh Morris wants to know: do you think if you voice your thoughts, so I'm guessing speak your mind, does it help with mental health or with getting things out?
Absolutely. However, context is key. So the last time I was on, I talked about accurate language, right? And so like the segment that you guys started with, what pisses Al off, right? Well, that's great. And I heard a little bit what you were talking about wiping your ass and shit. And I heard Scott talk about the dogs. But here's the thing though, right? It's the accurate language. Are you using accurate language to describe that situation to the person you're talking to, right? So is it so serious, Scott, from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most pissed off you've ever been in your life, that one of your dogs ate a hat? Where does that fall in 1 to 10?
At the time, probably about a 7.
Okay, a 7. Right now, where would it be?
Right now, I don't care because I got a different hat.
Fair enough, right? So here's the thing. Saying and continuing to describe that situation as something that pisses you the fuck off, you're going to ramp yourself up versus saying, you know what, it's a shame that dog ate that hat because I really like the hat. That's accurate language, right? Saying that it pissed me the fuck off, you're talking about putting hands on people, right? Like anger out of 10 is you're putting your hands on people.
Right.
So consider that, right? Like, so that's part of it. Going back to Matt's point with his wife, one of the things that we don't do is we don't take the female perspective. We are naturally trained by being male and by being military service members. We take the male approach. So the male perspective is this: I don't give a shit how the mission gets done. Just get it the fuck done. Right? Yeah. The female perspective says the how the mission gets done is equally as important as to the mission getting accomplished. Right? So what are we trying to say with that? Well, at the end of the day, all emotions are normal. We're supposed to experience anger. What we're not supposed to do is let it run our life. Mm-hmm. So once we start using accurate language, we can de-escalate. And what you really want to do is, we're not trying to invalidate the fact that you're having an anger issue. What we're saying is de-escalate yourself so that you can have a calm, cool conversation about it versus, bitch, I told you, ... Right? That's a whole different conversation.
Bad language would be me telling you to, I don't care if you got a license for that Humvee or not, get out there and drive the Commander. That would be bad language. Okay.
So Berto, question. So, so to your point though, if Scott or me or anybody, so it's healthy though, if I'm at a 10, right, and I want to voice it, that I voice it, right, to Scott. Like, obviously I'm not going to voice it to like the person I'm at, because I don't want to fucking go to jail, and I'm a bleeder and I don't want to get punched. But is it healthy, right? Is it healthy to voice your anger to somebody else? I know you're saying like don't get angry, like your anger and language, but if I'm like at a fucking 10 and I call you, or I call Ty, or I call Matt, or I call whoever, right, Scott or Josh, and say I'm fucking furious and I want to kill a motherfucker. Because sometimes I get in this podcast before we ever have the podcast and I vent a bunch of shit like we did earlier, and I let it out, and it feels good to get it out. Is that is that good or is that bad? Like from your perspective, is it not good to voice what you feel?
No. It absolutely is. It's the context in which you do it. So to vent is going to continue to reinforce the cycle of anger.
Okay.
Right. So 9 times out of 10, anger stems from, and this is not 100%, mind you, anger tends to come from an unmet need. So what is the unmet need? Right. Maybe maybe at the DMV, prime example, right? How many of us have been asked to leave the DMV because we're cussing them out because they're too slow? Well, there you go. What is the concern? What is the issue? And how do you braze it? Right. Most people, when you come at them the way we come at people, they're going to get defensive immediately and they're going to shut you down. And if they have the power to ask you to leave, guess what? They're going to ask you to leave. Right. And so your mission didn't get done. Right. You threw a temper tantrum. You blew a gasket. So where did that help you accomplish the mission? I'm not saying don't experience anger. What I'm saying is experience it, call it out, bring that, regulate yourself down, right, to like a 1 or 2. So then you can say, hey, Al, you know what, man, that thing that you just did, that really upset me. So much so that, can we make an appointment for tomorrow because I need to leave right now? Right? That's handling the situation much differently than cussing somebody out and threatening them to leave them 23 lumps on the back of their head.
Hey, a lot of times, thanks for that comment. Hey, thanks for watching, David Willis, and then thanks for that comment, Megan Carr. A lot of times, if Berto can correct me if I am wrong, but a lot of times when you do the physical activity, and that's going to give you dopamine as well, so that's automatically going to alleviate a lot of those stressors, the bad stuff. So you got that dopamine from putting a whooping on that bag.
Right.
That is the perfect thing to do, and then come back with level head and talk about it. So
right.
Well,
so
kudos to you, Megan.
What you don't want to do is in the moment go and hit the bag. You want to have a dedicated time to go do that kind of workout, because engaging in physical violence, whether it's training or not, will reinforce that is the go-to action, right? The brain has one job, guys, at the end of the day, and that's to keep you alive. This is where anxiety comes from, right? If we fear, driving the highway, guess what? Your brain's going to tell you, I don't want to drive the highway, and I'm not going to drive the highway, right? Because in the context, it's protecting you, right? This is the issue that we run into when we have people who have PTSD, right? Who have witnessed, mayor cells getting in firefights at mayor cells, or, got my firefight, my big one was at a school, right? Who the hell would have thought a school was going to get shot up? So you don't want to do you want to practice the behavior that you want to do. So there's this thing called imaginal rehearsal. And all of y'all, because I know you watch sports, all of y'all have seen athletes do this, right? They're bouncing a ball that doesn't exist. They're shooting. They're maneuvering how they're going to maneuver against the defendant. All of those things are preparing them for the real life situation. Train as we fight, fight as we train. And guess what we don't do? As veterans, we typically don't train to do it the civilian way. We're taught one way, and that's with a hammer. Just saying.
I totally agree. And then one thing I'll tell you, Megan, is so that you don't associate a physical activity of having to whoop somebody's ass immediately with, getting angry at something. So maybe play that in your mind. Like David Goggins literally makes recordings of people that have dissed him on one way or the other. And then, absolutely, diss him on one way or the other, and then he has an allotted time that he's working out. He puts that stuff on replay in his ear. So that's a good practice to have.
So Josh,
and just real quick, Ty and everybody, Megan, she's the other half of the Homefront Sit Rep podcast. So
hey, shout out
welcome
Megan
to the show.
Hey, Josh wants your contact information, Berto. So we'll have to get you in touch with this guy. So I know. Megan. So from now on, I'm not gonna to take a dump and have a re-wipe and run out and punch a bag, because I think it'll make my problem, it'll escalate my problem where it might spread. So I'm gonna make sure I re-wipe before I work out. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It'd be interesting when you're rolling though.
Scott, oh bro, they don't want that. What you got, Scott? I know you was trying to get in a minute ago, and I didn't let you. What's up, bro?
Well, I really get a chance to elaborate on my comment, but I'm gonna go there. I know we kind of went around the way. But for me, I know we talked a lot. The assumption was the wife, right? But in my case, it's not the wife, right? I got 7 kids, right? And in that, I have 5 boys, 2 girls. 4 to 5 of my boys are in Tennessee, right? In my situation, the reason why I say it's based off of condition, because anybody who knows me or has known me for a while knows how much I love my kids, right? Due to the fact that things didn't work out with me and their moms is beyond the point. It doesn't take away my love as a father for my kids, right? But when, you know, the condition is, as long as, even if me and the dad was having our terms, as long as you were in this house, then it was good. But now that you're out and you're doing your life, then it's my job now to make our kids, you know what I'm saying, look at their father different because I'm not there. For me, I say it's based on the condition, because as long as I'm on your terms, I'm good, right? But as soon as things aren't on your terms, then I'm bad, right? But my kids are in the mix of that, in the middle of that, and I don't get the fair shake of time with my kids, or, you know, are those things. So I know it's things that we don't talk about, and I know everybody's situation is different, but what bothers me about it is that at any case, I am the dad of these kids. I love them just the same. It's the same amount of my blood went into it as the other person's. So why is it that I only get that love or that same amount of coexistence with my kids based off of your condition? You understand? And that's why I was saying it made me mad. So I wanted to clear that up, because immediately I think we immediately go to the next thing, which is our wife. My wife is absolutely amazing. If it wasn't for my wife now, I don't know what I would do, because I've been in 2 situations with somebody that I wasn't compatible with. You know, we've had kids, and then those are in play. But now I'm with somebody who I'm absolutely compatible with. We don't have kids together of our own, but there's still kids in play, right? But the condition of how my kids are being moved really, really bothers me. I don't know if it's written on my face, but it is, because it really genuinely bothers me that is the case. And that's why I say that we as men are loved based on the condition, because the court sees us as a certain way. You know, in society, men are right away have to pay child support. We right away have to do this. The kids 9 times out of 10 are immediately going to go to the mom, and the dad is just like, hey, Dad, thanks for donating your sperm. Like I was saying, thanks for your donation, but
Yeah,
hey,
bro.
here they go.
Yeah, bro.
So that's what you have my house. So I just wanted to clear that up. And I appreciate you, Alberto, for your wisdom and helping understand, because I'm gonna use a lot of those things that you have that were put up there, because the dopamine and all that kind of stuff like that is good that has been explained, because we need to know outlets. I struggle with having an outlet. I'm always there to be, you know, to try to pump somebody else up or be there for somebody else. But sometimes, bro, I'm hurting about that, man. And when it comes to my kids, I genuinely have a hurt in my heart for not being able to be the dad that I know that I can be for my kids based off of a condition. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's it. That's just my truth, man. I just wanted to clear that up, and
so
we can go back.
and I appreciate that, because you're right. I'll speak for myself, right? I took it as, you know, there's a conditional something going on in a relationship somewhere, and I took your generalization, and I wouldn't say I personalized it, but I definitely was kind of thinking in my head, okay, what the heck is going on with Scott right now? And thank you for being vulnerable, man. And you know, that's one of the things that's, you know, you're going to hear me say often, man. We need to learn to be vulnerable. Guess what, guys? We did some amazing shit for a freaking piece of ribbon that don't mean nothing to civilians. You feel me?
Fucking facts.
You know what I mean? If I put on my resume that I got 3 Archons and 2 good conduct medals, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck? How does that reflect your ability as a therapist?" It doesn't.
They don't give a fuck.
Right?
That's facts.
They don't, right? It might mean something to Ty because we served together, right? Like I know his Bronze Stars and I know all of the stuff, you know, some of the stuff. And we've had philosophical debates on whether or not people should have gotten the awards that they got at the end of the deployment. Because guess what, guys? They were tied to your fucking rank. They were not tied to your performance.
Not
at
me,
least
though.
in the Army, at least in the Army, right? Let's be honest.
Nah, bro, that's across the board, baby. Trust me.
No.
Yeah.
Not
Hey,
mine.
Eric Keith, I see you, man. Appreciate you, big dog.
You know what I mean, Ty, right? So
Oh, I'm just joking,
here's the
yeah.
So here's the thing, right? Like what we don't do, we do a really good job of ramping people up to become dicks, right? Dedicated infantry combat killers. That's
Mhm.
great. But what we're not doing anything to de-escalate that programming because those skill sets are not helpful in real life.
Absolutely.
Right? If I know some of you are in real estate and mortgages and stuff, man. If you started cussing people out because they forgot some paperwork, you ain't gonna have no clients.
You
Right.
want to though.
But if they were your E2, E3, you'd be yelling at them and they'd be on the phone in your rust.
Oh, they get the damn business. What'd you say? Oh, they
Right.
get
Yeah.
Right.
Man, I can't find the
different.
DJ horn on the Epidemic Sound, so I can have a DJ
I'm
horn.
gonna bring my thing back, man. I had moved some stuff around inside of my room, man. So I'm gonna bring it back. So we'll have it back because I know you've been searching for
Berto,
it.
I appreciate you interfacing with my guys. These are like Berto knows how I am. Let me do a little something here. People that served with me know how sentimental I am. People that serve with me know that I either love you or I don't want nothing to do with you. So I appreciate everyone with all the support. But Berto, thank you so much for being a friend to the podcast, and thank you for proving so many people wrong about us, about you. So thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate
for sure.
all your counsel at all times. I got this dude on speed dial in my phone. If I got something going on, I'm like, "What's up, Berto? Let's talk. Let's rap about this."
Hey, well, how about you share the contact information, bro?
I did. You're in a group text, man. What you think? I've been sharing.
Al doesn't know what that means. He just knows one is a number, and he doesn't know who it is.
Berto,
so he's still trying to figure it out.
Berto, man.
Hoorah kill, bro. Hoorah kill. That's all I know.
So
Berto, you can stick around. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let you guys do your thing, right? Like Drew Hernandez said, man, like on you guys' show, right? We gravitate towards each other, and those that are doing good things and that align themselves with what we're trying to do, we're always going to be there to help out, right? So it goes back to like what grandma used to say, right? Show me who your friends are and I'll show you who you are. You want to be successful, surround yourself around with successful people. Why are you messing around with people like Al Hero over there, talking about not being able to wipe his own ass and shit? You know what I mean?
He just isn't always clean, okay, Berto?
He might be ready for that vet home. I'm just saying, right? But in all seriousness, right? I have a skill set that I can bring and help others on your platform. So of course I'm going to do that, right? And it's how we help each other, right? But we got to find those alignments, right? And I've known Ty for a long time. I mean, Ty and I used to refer to ourselves as hetero life mates, if that tells you anything, right? I mean, I remember having 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning conversations right before PT because shit was going down overseas. He
drove like 450 miles or something just to bring me some flowers that the unit got for me. Not flowers, but thing when my mother passed away.
His mama passed.
Yeah, my mom passed. He drove like 400 miles at 3 o'clock in the morning just to bring me that thing to go on the grave the next day. So I mean, that's the type of friend that's the only type of friends I have.
That's gangster shit.
That's the type of people you need to be around like that, man.
Yeah, the top 5, baby. You know what I'm saying? Just like what he said. So
yeah.
Hey, but Berto, I appreciate you coming on. You can stick around if you want to do the pick'em with us. But,
because I got to get Al Hero's ass again. I got to get Al Hero. This is why his ass hurts, because I'm about to get his ass with the Deion Sanders shit again.
First of fucking all,
hey, make sure you got hand sanitizer.
It doesn't matter.
Make sure you got hand sanitizer. You know it's shitty. You know it's shitty.
And I don't wash my hands all the time when I use.
It doesn't matter.
I just want to be real.
It doesn't matter that Al picked CU this week to win. I don't care that he's trying to pick now. I'm talking about the conversation we had before this all started. I knew you were going to see the light eventually.
Hold on, Scott. First of all, I remember a text message in our group chat where you were like, "I'm going to change." Somebody was like, "I'm going to change my picks." Why? Is it because I'm light skinned? I can't change my picks.
No. He said he's going to go to. They're going undefeated.
Oh, but I can't change my shit. I can't have it.
No, because yours wasn't about that. Yours was not about the game. You said F Deion Sanders, F Colorado, F the whole state.
I'm sorry. I want to recant my statement. officially, publicly.
Do you see how
Hold
those
on.
guys in Colorado ran on the
Hold on,
field?
bro.
That's what they're going to do when you come to Colorado. Since you said F Colorado, when you go there, that's how they're going to hit your ass at the airport. They're going to gravitate.
Hey, I'm just telling you, I'm going to recant my statement publicly.
Okay.
And in fact, if my dad, if he was on it, he would vouch for me. I said it tonight. I want to recant because you know what? I did talk shit because I don't like to lose. And I made my picks, and I'm like, I'm a fucking winner, and winners win, and I will stand by it. But I'm taking it back and saying, look, for one, I think Deion Sanders is great for football, and he's amazing as a coach, right? I still would like, I didn't think he was going to do as good as he is, but I can recant now. If you can say they're going undefeated, I can change my numbers. Now I'm going to stick with my numbers for the sake of the bet and the sake of me being a man. And I'm going to pay my dues. I'm going to pay my debts when I lose. But I'm right here publicly, I'm saying they are going to do a lot better than I first said. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Well, they did that. They did that from the beginning, and I didn't say that they're going to go undefeated. I did say that I did want to relook my pick on Oregon because that I think that based off of what I've seen, I think that Colorado has a chance to beat Oregon. And in the beginning, I didn't think that was going to happen.
And in the beginning, I didn't think all the things I think. So I may make some picks that I didn't. Now I'm sticking to my original thing because I'm a man of my word, and I'm gonna buy all my brothers a bottle when I lose. But the facts of the matter is, and how I really feel is, I think that they're gonna do a lot better than I originally gave them credit for. And I'm a man. I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I've made a mistake, and I made a mistake originally, and I want to adjust my picks too. I still think they have a fucking uphill battle against Oregon. I still think Oregon has a good shot to beat them, and and USC's probably definitely going to beat them.
Oregon has a shot because one of their best players got cheap shot in that game.
State,
and they're going to be down.
Let's hold on. Let's
have to talk about that.
Yeah, hold on. Let's go this. You say that, but Deion is a phenomenal coach, so it should be fucking next man up. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, if you haven't prepared your team and your backups to step in and play a game, that ain't you can't say they're gonna lose because one player.
No. But think about this, Al. Think about this. When you have a whole roster like that, and you have one player that was so good that he played on both sides of the football, even though you have somebody else in that position, but they didn't play the Deion standard, so he didn't put them out there. When you have somebody who you have that much trust in their athletic ability, and that guy has showed that he was able to do it on both ends, I feel like that was a targeted hit to get him out because that's the way that they thought that they were going to win.
I'm not saying the hit was not illegal. That wasn't a shitty. What I'm saying is
it was not illegal. It was targeted hit. Those are two targeted hits.
What I'm saying is I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is, Deion, you better have the next man up and the next man ready. And if you don't, I don't want to hear next week, oh, Colorado lost because Hunter wasn't on the field. That is bullshit. You're a fucking phenomenal coach. You prepare your people every week, and I hope you prepare this week. So I'm not going to agree and say that he's going to be the reason if they lose, Matt.
I'm just saying that in that game, they did exactly what you just said.
Exactly.
The next men came up when they were good. Now you got to remember in that game, though, that would be, that player that means so much gets hit like that is out of the game. So now it makes it even more personal. We were talking about that dopamine, like they hit, like there's no way we're not going to let this go down like that.
Right.
Now that they're out of that game and they've had a week to prepare, there are times where they're going to be like, holy crap, what are we going to do without the guy? So I'm only saying because he's not there, it's going to expose them a little bit defensively. And Shedeur is going to have to rely on a couple of guys that he doesn't have as much confidence in as that guy to get it done. Right. Although they're tied in at Colorado, that dude's legit.
All I'm going to say is this is college football. People go down, and it's the next man up. I'm not saying I'm not going to be. I'm picking them. I'll pick them to win. But my point would be if they don't, I don't want to hear it's only because it's not going to be one guy on the roster was in the game, so that's why they lost. You win as a team, you lose as a team. It's not for sure. If you want to be an individual, one fucking track.
But this is the thing. I don't think that would ever be the case. That there's one person.
I don't either.
But you look at it like this. It's just like if you look at the Bulls and you got Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan goes down. Then it's like, oh well, you mean to tell me that you say that people aren't going to say, well, the reason why the Bulls didn't win that championship 100%. Is because Michael Jordan was hurt. 100%. Hey, that's like their number one. That's his number one look on the offensive side. So you as a quarterback, when you hike that ball and you look over and you got players that you know that if I throw this ball at this realm, this guy's going to catch it. Because we've been practicing that. But when you have to fill in somebody, that kind of second guesses what you got to do. So that alters it a little bit.
No, but basketball to me and football are different because you got a leading scorer who puts up 50 points a game. It's different than a guy who catches some. I don't compare the two, but all I'm saying is I still don't think without him, they're going to not win a game. I think that Deion
win a game,
is going to prepare his people and going to have the next man up. If the world's saying without him, that's why. No, it's not why. There's a whole lot of other elements that go in. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, what do you think the score would have been on the last game, Colorado versus Colorado State, had they not injured him? What do you think that score would have been then?
I'll be honest. I didn't really watch that game. I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights. I don't know. Maybe they score more.
Yeah.
Oh, they would have scored.
Yeah, they would have scored more for sure.
21 probably.
Right. Absolutely.
Maybe.
So.
What'd you say would be time?
Probably 50 something. That
right.
Colorado probably scored again, and they probably got a pick
right.
six, or they probably wouldn't have scored as many times.
It would have been higher, but it's neither here nor there.
I agree.
Still a high scoring game though.
But this is the thing. Deion Sanders said it himself. There's two things that you don't talk about. That's his players and his mama. And that guy went there with him. So it was one of them things where he was like, there's no way that we are going to let this guy who disrespected us like that walk away with this win, and his team and his players rolled the wagon and they got the win by any means necessary. They were willing to die on that field to get that win. And that's what you need.
No, but I'm not debating any of that. What I'm saying is going into Oregon, if Deion if he's the coach that if he's crowned the new savior of college football, like everybody, hold on. Yes, the whole world is. And I'm saying it, and we're all saying if he's the next level coach and he's the coach that we all think he is and the world thinks he is, then he will have his team prepared to go. And if he loses by chance, if he does take the L, he won't. I don't think he would, but then hey, he takes it on the chin like a man and says, we got outplayed we got beat by a better team. But I just think that if Deion is the coach that we all think he is, and I think he is, I really do, then he's going to have his team prepared, of course, for Oregon with or without fucking Hunter.
Of course,
and
absolutely.
And me and you talked first game, Blake. Me and you talked the first game, and me and you talked about this same scenario. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, what if we talked about the depth of Colorado? What if Travis Hunter goes down? I know, and I know that Deion wants a player who's a two-way player because that's what he was, right? And it's a big deal to have a guy who's just like Deion. He's my two-way player. But I don't know if you thought about this dude going down as soon as as early in the season as he did, if that didn't concern you, right? You have this guy playing both ways of the ball. And you can say all you want, well, that's what he does. No. There's defensive backs. You could have had him as a receiver or as a defensive back, but you wanted to put it in. I don't know what his thought process was, but he's playing both sides of the ball. So now he went down, and then you take a hit on offense and defense, right?
Right. But this is the thing, Al. I don't think it was ever a matter of Deion wanted him to play both sides of the ball. It was his standard. His standard is that if you're going to play this position, you're going to play it at the best, right? And there was nobody else on the other side of that field that could play that position on defense the way that Hunter could play it on defense, so they didn't go out there. That's a message to the other players on the field to say, hey, either you step up and play on this level, or I'm willing to sacrifice this guy playing on both sides of the ball because you're not willing to play that hard.
And now
that's a standard.
No, I 100% agree.
That's the SOP. We talk about it all the time. That's the SOP, man.
I know, but now he's got to accept that decision and saying, I lost my biggest weapon on offense and one of my best players on defense. No, man, that's the truth.
But here's the thing. He's not the biggest weapon on offense.
He's not.
He's the most focused weapon on offense. But if you watch the end of that game for Colorado and Colorado State, everybody's been, I just said it, they've been sleeping on their tight end. That dude's legit. And that guy now is going to be the one that they focus on.
What you just said is not factual as of this point in the season. Because go back and look at yardage, numbers, and touchdowns. Their biggest weapon outside of their quarterback on offense is fucking Hunter. He leads the team in receptions. He leads the team in yards per
Very
catch.
true.
He leads the team in touchdowns. So you can't say the tight end showed out at the end. Now, he may turn into the biggest weapon on offense, but as of right now, at this point of the season, their biggest offensive playmaker is Hunter.
And he's hurt. So that means
right. So somebody's got to step up, and I think they will.
Yeah.
I'm still saying they're going to win. I think Deion's going to get them ready.
So you're picking Oregon. So you're picking CU over Oregon this week.
I don't know
That's
yet.
what you're saying.
No. So anyway, let's get to here though, real quick, so we can do these picks.
Sorry,
Right,
I love.
it.
Hey, me and Scott. Hey, bro, we should.
Yeah,
I
hey,
was the only crazy one.
Love it. I love it.
That picked wrong last week.
Who
But
picked
Al-
wrong last week?
I did in the Georgia South Carolina game. I'm gonna tell you right now, I was sweating in that game.
Yeah,
Bro,
that was a close one.
Look, man. For one, I'm a fan of the game, and I've already stated. I already told you, in my opinion, Georgia is not the fucking. And people can get mad right now. Josh might cuss me out, call me, and be like, "Fuck you." They are nowhere near the team they were. I'm saying Georgia takes L's this year.
Yeah.
I think Kentucky looks fucking scary. I think Georgia's going to take an L this year for sure, if not two. I think Georgia and Alabama are not what they were last year. Not even fucking
for
close.
sure.
We had a quarterback who threw for over 300 fucking yards last game with 0 touchdowns. Somebody's going to stop your run game very quickly, and you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Georgia over South Carolina because fuck South Carolina. But the fact is, I don't think Georgia makes through the SEC gauntlet this year unscathed. I don't see it. I don't care what anybody says and be like, oh, you're a fan. I'm a fan, but I'm a fucking realist. I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest task they're going to come up against, to be honest, is at first we were talking Tennessee, right? But Tennessee got beaten, vulnerable. Florida is starting to look scary, and I agree with you. Kentucky is. I hope this is one of those years that they can put it together, because forever Kentucky's been very close, but they're almost like that marathon runner that thinks he's going to win because he's out in front leading the pack and he kind of exerts everything.
Right.
So I'm kind of hoping that
at the end.
Kentucky can finish this year, because they've had really good last few years. They just needed to be able to put it all together. But Georgia is going to have a tall task when they play Florida for sure. Because
fuck yeah, Florida.
They surprised me against Tennessee.
Well, Josh was wondering if I had a background, so I had to let him know. Yes, I do have background, sir.
There you go.
We'll go deep.
But no, I'm telling you, Georgia's not going undefeated this year. I'll put some money on it. It ain't gonna happen. Like, I've watched them play. They were down. South Carolina had their asses on the ropes, and then they came back in the second. But they don't have a quarterback. Like, Alabama don't have a quarterback.
Nope.
That shit hurts you when you don't have somebody who can move the ball down the field. Period.
Yep.
Yeah.
For
All right.
sure.
So as Matt said earlier, he's the only one that picked wrong.
Love you, Josh. I see you, big dog.
He picked South Carolina over Georgia. So
Look at Eric. That's what I'm saying. Good job, Eric. Way to go.
Hey,
it hurts. Maybe next year, my brother. Maybe next year, Square.
Eric, keep been hanging around James Mickens too long, man, with them Gamecocks, man. I remember old Mickens used to give us hell about them Gamecocks.
Hey, Eric, maybe next year, bro. Sorry, I love you, bro.
Ty,
yeah.
I want to recount. Ain't no way your ass is 14-1.
He is. He only lost one game. He lost one game last.
Damn, Al, come on. Why can't you argue with me on that one?
Go ahead.
I'm just a little embarrassed. I'm a little embarrassed.
I wouldn't be embarrassed. So what I was going to say was after 3 weeks, we're all pretty tight. It was just like one game change here and there, and then Matt, of course, picked South Carolina. But I mean, it's pretty close after 3 weeks. So I'm 14-1. Al and Scott are 13-2, and Matt is 12-3. So what I was going to say is this week, because of league play starting in the SEC, this is where a lot of the picks are actually going to start meeting them.
Yeah, this is where it's going to go down at.
It's been fairly easy up until this point, but with conference play, it's going to be interesting. So, Matt, you're first, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, bold move, Cotton. Go ahead, Matt.
Wait, why I got to go first? You're 14-1. Let's hear you first.
Yeah, go ahead, Todd. Put it out. You start it off.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. So I'm picking Auburn. You know that. I don't pick A&M. And I got Colorado. Now, I need a ruling on this one. I chose Oregon to beat Colorado when we did the
when we did the first one, but now that was before we saw a snap.
Yeah. You can
so I'm allowed to go ahead and pick Colorado
Yeah,
before we saw a snap.
I got the Faith this week because of some things that y'all said about who's on this side of the ball and that side of the ball. But I'll tell you this: Deion Sanders made it a point to play on both sides of the ball in the NFL. He did made it a point to score a touchdown and hit a home run in the same week. So this man knows what he's talking about when he puts that kid out there at cornerback and receiver. So I, for one, think that they probably got 2 or 3 other guys that when, Hunter's out of the way, these guys will probably step up in a real
they know
way.
They got to step up.
Because what did he say when he said he was coming? He said he was bringing Louis, right? All his luggage is Louis. So to me, somebody else is going to step up and take care of business. So definitely Colorado. And then with Georgia and UAB, this is Georgia's tune-up game. Anything that they have that's broken, they need to fix it during UAB and run the score up. And then with UK and Vanderbilt, this is always a catch game. Hey Josh, if they want me to, I'll send you a link. We'll get you on here.
Let Josh come on in. Let Josh come on in, man. We can
go ahead and send him an invite, Matt. Do you know how to
invite?
Send
you
him
know
an
how to do
invite
it,
on?
Matt? Bring him in if you want.
I don't. Al, you know his email address?
And with UK and Vanderbilt, it's always a catch game there. So it's always a catch game. So it's Vanderbilt's really good, but I'm gonna pick UK.
Okay, so let me see if I got this right. So what you're
about
saying
the last one?
I got the last one here real quick. I'm going with FSU. I'm hoping FSU stays on the board all week or all year actually, because as the team wins, that team stays. So we may end up picking Morehead State if they do an upset. We'll pick their game the next week. So all right, go ahead. Whoever's going next.
Go ahead, Al. You got it.
So I'm with Ty. I'm going. A&M against Auburn. Fuck.
Yeah, buddy.
That's the game that.
Yeah.
So I'll start from the bottom and go up. I'm going FSU. I'm going UK. I'm going Georgia. Hold on. I'm going Colorado.
Okay. My oh my, have things changed?
And I think I'm going A&M.
Okay.
Al, you got that address?
Yeah, I'm sending it to you right now.
Right. Buddy. Yeah. I'll pick CU over Oregon.
I'll be honest. For me, that's a really hard pick because
it's a hard one.
I think Oregon's undefeated, and I think this is the part of the schedule for Colorado that's going to really test them, because Oregon is no walkthrough team. They're not
right.
They're not Colorado State. Like, this team is like, they are. It's hard to pick against in the Pac-12. It's hard to pick against Oregon.
This is the thing. How do you see Oregon's defense?
My stance. I don't think the Pac-12 plays defense very much. Gotcha. Right? They have average. I don't see. I think, for one, Colorado's quarterback play is going to be on point. It's been on point all season. I think he's thrown one interception all year so far. I don't see Oregon. I hate to say that. I hate talking about shit about the Pac-12, but they're not known for fucking defense. They're known for air raid offense. They're not
awesome uniforms.
Right, but that's the problem when the Pac-12 and the Colorado may change the game, but the Pac-12, when they go and play against SEC teams or Big Ten teams, like, they get fucking slaughtered because they get punched in them. Oregon, think about anytime they play an SEC team, they get fucking mauled because they don't have a defense that can stop the run game, and they don't have an offense that can compete with the defense of an SEC team over the last couple of years. Like, I think Colorado is going to still put up points with or without Hunter. I think they pull out Oregon, and then next week I'll be picking against them just because it's USC.
All right. So what you're saying is
Scott's picks, man. You already gave your picks. What's Scott's pick?
All right. Big high tizzle for shizzle dizzle. I'm doing it like this week. I can't go with the whole left side this week. I feel like Auburn is going to give Texas A&M their first loss. I'm going to pick CU over Oregon. I'm going to pick Georgia over UAB, Kentucky over Vanderbilt, and man, oh man, that Clemson versus Florida FSU. Man, that's the one that's chapping my hide a little bit. But I got to go with Florida State on that one. So I'm taking Auburn, Colorado, Georgia, Kentucky, and FSU.
I got you.
I'm trying to pull up Auburn's schedule. I don't know much about it. Before you lock me in, let me just take a look and see.
You already
you're
locked
locked
in.
in. I already
You're
wrote
locked
it
in.
down.
You already
Already
made the
wrote
pick.
it down.
Man, we ain't off the clock.
Yeah,
You already made the
locked
picks.
in.
And we're moving to the next round with Matt Johnson.
Yeah. So, so Texas A&M and Auburn is going to be a tough game because Auburn is actually playing pretty decent this year, and A&M has been pretty inconsistent on offense as far as some games the quarterback came to play, some days he didn't. So, oh man, that was a toss-up.
You got to pick your squad, bro.
No, I think Auburn's going to edge them, to be honest. So I'm going Auburn. Just because I know how they've played this season and I've watched them and they've been up and down. I hate to do it. Sorry, Cole. I think your team's going down, but you guys will have a good party to celebrate the loss, I promise.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think Oregon's going to edge by Colorado still, and I only say that because of the key player that they're missing.
I got you.
Georgia's going to handle UAB, no doubt. I think Kentucky handles Vanderbilt easily, and Florida State and Clemson. I just don't think that Dabo has the same type of squad and same kind of umph that he's had the past few years. Because as I look at it, Saban's down, Dabo's down.
Was that Clemson too? So they're going back to Clemson.
Yeah, but I mean, Florida State went to LSU and played them in a neutral field. It wasn't in Florida State. It was more in LSU territory than it was Florida State, and they still beat them. So, I mean,
LSU is just as intimidating as the what do they call it? The
and I think
Death Valley.
Yeah. I think that LSU is a much better team than Clemson, and they beat them. But it's an ACC game, and it's a rivalry. So you know what I mean. When you get into that conference play, like you said, it's going to be difficult. But I think
it's a night game too, so they do that bus ride around the corner. That's pretty cool.
I'm going to stick with Florida State, man. I think that they keep riding it for sure.
That's
so
a
I'm
good
going.
pick, man.
I'm going
There's
Auburn, Oregon, Georgia, Kentucky, and Florida State.
With the picks we have now, there's some chances that the records are going to change.
The records are going to change for sure. Right.
Yeah.
It's my birthday, man. It's gonna be my birthday.
I made my pick. I'm with Scott. I made my picks, but the Colorado and the Auburn game, those are really just fucking. I flip a coin. Like, oh fuck, you never know.
Yeah, it's hard. But as we watch all the games now, Al, you made a good point to it, right? I think what you're starting to see, and this is what I see in college football right now, because they have the transfer portal and so many people can transfer over and do the things they're doing. Like Dion brought a whole new team in with the transfer portal, and there's a ton of players like Georgia, LSU, A&M, all the SEC schools, even some of those Big 12 schools, and call it Pac-12 schools. They're getting top-notch players. They're not playing, so like, I'm out. I'm going where I can get playing time, and which is going to affect the depth chart of a lot of those teams. And I think you saw that a little bit with Georgia last week. They just stuck with the best option at quarterback, even though he could get them down the field, but he could not convert in the red zone. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. But then you have the opposite side of Colorado. Like, they lose one of their best, if not best player on both sides of the ball, but their quarterback found a way to make it work and stay in the pocket and take the beating.
98 yards.
And then other kids stood up and made plays. Now we just got to hope they do it again this week. And so it's kind of what concerns me is at some point, and I really felt like when we did the original picks that Colorado was going to be at the point they're at right now, even with Hunter. Mm-hmm. They're at a point where if there's going to be a letdown, it's going to be now or it's going to be USC. Right. And I think it's going to happen now because I think they're going to rebound against USC, but we'll see how it goes this week. But I think they rebound after that. But at some point, either this one or the next one, they might get caught. But the problem with that, too, is it still doesn't take them out of the running. They can still get to the Pac-12 championship game. And if they continue to play the way they're playing now and setting all these trends, you never know, man. You might see Colorado up at the top.
No, I'm kind of like with Scott. Like we made all these picks before we seen a snap. So
Right.
now, kind of things change a little bit. When you're like, okay, well now I can watch. I'm watching them play. It ain't just hype. It ain't just this. We're watching.
It's not just luck, man.
what
These
they're
guys are
doing,
playing
right?
some football,
And I think I still say that Dion. I know he went to the Pac-12, but I don't think that was a bad decision, right? Because I think if you're going to come into the Power 5 conference and make a mark, like that's the conference to probably do it in, because they've been so inconsistent as a conference. Like when's the last time, didn't Texas, the last time USC was in there, like Reggie Bush was on the team, the last time they was in a national championship?
Yeah, they've been close the last couple of years to getting over there, though. USC has the reigning Heisman Trophy winner.
Well, here's the truth, though. And I've said it. Maybe my dad talked about it. It's funny because I was like, last year, I still, even though they lost their conference championship, I still think USC was one of the top 4 teams.
Yeah.
I think TCU had a soft schedule. They won out, but I still think USC Georgia is a fucking way better and closer game than fucking USC or Georgia TCU. I think USC shows up to play, and I think they give fucking Georgia a run for their fucking money.
I think what Dion did smartly, right, and his choice to go into the college ranks. And you never know; he may not have had that many choices, right?
Hey,
or maybe
Josh,
he did.
Did you email him the link, Matt?
I sent it to him like 10 minutes ago. Tell him how to, you got to click on the email; it'll come up. You did say he got a 17 on the East, so I'm trying to help him out. But yeah, I sent it to him. So when you have Dion coming in, if he was going to go to the Pac-12, I think he had 2 choices of schools he could go to make that impact. One was Colorado, and the other one that would have been huge for that would have been Nebraska, because those are the 2 schools that have a pretty good history over on that side. Even though Nebraska is not in the same conference on that side of the country, those are the 2 schools he could have picked to go in. But Colorado is just the natural choice. It's that place that if you can bring them back, you're going to bring back a lot of that old school heyday, right?
Yeah.
Which is going to be good for the Big Ten. It's going to be good for the Pac-12. If Dion does well enough at Colorado, the Pac-12 is gonna regret allowing a couple of those teams to go to the ACC.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
If he makes,
because they're all chasing money.
If he makes the Pac-12 even somewhat relevant. But I don't know if Dion, if he crushes shit, I don't know if he stays in Colorado.
Oh, he's gonna stay, man.
You think so? I don't know.
He's gonna stay there.
He'll be
Dion
for a few years.
I don't know.
For a couple years, man.
No,
he's not gonna come there 1 year, do good, and then
because of his contract, I don't think it allows him to. But Dion's that's probably about that money. I think if he gets a bigger offer in a couple years, he's out of there. He's about the money, bro.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd say that Dion's about the money.
Bro,
I think Dion's got plenty of money.
He knows how to make money.
He has so much endorsement deals right now that I don't think he cares about
it. I don't think it was money. I don't think it was a money motivator on why he made his moves there. You know what I mean? I think when you look at it as far as where I can bring my boys to play, what I can bring to it, why not go to somewhere that's totally failing, so that way their success can be totally based on what I've done and what I've changed in that organization. And it's not what he's done as a person, but just his leadership style and what he brings to people in a whole. Just his win, 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 win. I can attitude. That stuff bleeds off into people. It bleed off to all of us when we were young who didn't want to be Deion Sanders to play. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that, that's who he is. That's his DNA of who he is. And what better way to prove it than put all the odds against him. Put him in a bucket where the only thing people can say is the only thing that you can do in here is lose, so that he can show the world that I'm gonna come out here and win just because you said I was gonna lose.
No. Here's the other part though, Scott, that people don't like to touch on. Here's the facts. There wasn't a bunch of teams lined up to hire Deion Sanders coming out of Jackson State. Colorado gave him the opportunity, right?
Right.
It would if it had been any other team in a bigger market that's bigger for Deion. I don't think he goes to Colorado, even if they're 14-1 and 14. I think if anybody, Auburn, you name a bigger school would have been like, we want.
But
you.
I
think he goes there first. I think he goes there.
No, check this out. So if you go back and look at it, where did everybody think Deion was gonna go?
Oh, I don't fucking have a clue. I don't remember.
What do you mean? They thought he was going to Florida State.
Yeah,
They
but
thought he was gonna go where
That's
he
where they
played.
wanted him to go because that's where he came from. But I think he made the decision not to go there because if you know a lot about Dion, right? Like that dude does not want to go somewhere. He's kind of like we all were on our Navy side for a military career.
Don't
We
put me
didn't
somewhere
follow
that's
people.
winning. Right.
Well, we didn't follow people. So I didn't want to go somewhere where people knew me. I need to go, blaze this trail and do things on my own because of, again,
yeah, but
the work ethic that he has
in
his brand.
Yeah, but I don't think I have to go back and look at it. I don't think Florida State was offering the opportunity, right? I think Colorado offered the opportunity. Yeah, South Florida wanted him. So I think Colorado offered the opportunity. It's in the Pac-12, right? It's a Power 5 conference. I think he was smart and chose there. I have to go back and look. I don't remember, but like Eric said, South Florida. I don't think if he had South Florida, who is not a fucking perennial powerhouse, or Colorado, he was going to go to South Florida. I think he wanted to get into the Power 5 conference to make his mark, and I think he picked Colorado because that is the Power 5 school that was like, we will take you. And I think he was like, you're going to be happy that you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the majority of people thought that Deion Sanders is a great player, but I'm not sure that he would be a great coach. I think that's what a lot of people were saying.
Which is crazy because he was a great coach at Jackson State. And I know it's not the same level of now in that conference. It absolutely is. But people are like, man, that's an HBCU. It's like going to like a Division III or whatever, right? They didn't give him credit for what he did there, right? If you can coach, if you're a coach, you're a coach. I know fucking high school coaches that go into small, like they do, like if you can coach, you can coach, right? He proved at Jackson State he could coach. I just think it was just like I was. It wasn't that I don't think he was ever going to be a great coach or that he would change the dynamic and do some great shit. I just was like, man, it's a different world on the big boy stage, right? Yeah. Division IIIs, Division IIs, HBCUs are smaller conferences, smaller schools. They don't get the recognition they deserve. They don't have the money, right? Financially, they don't have the ability to do certain things. So I'm sure it was like, I wasn't thinking, oh, he's not a coach. He fucking won a championship and did great. I think it was like, you're leaving, because how many coaches have left smaller schools or how many coaches have left for the NFL and just can't make it? It's
very true.
Was like, it's
arguably the best college coach of all time, and Nick Saban went to the NFL and couldn't make
it, right?
But
Urban Meyer couldn't make it.
But so what they forget about Dion, I think sometimes, that dude, he won Super Bowls. He was the player on the college campus. He's won World Series titles. That dude has been in the biggest and highest moments of sports competition his entire life.
Yeah, he flourishes in those moments.
So for him to go to a college and now have to bring a team of kids up to play ball, his biggest challenge was getting all those guys to buy in. So he did that when he walked in the door and said, all y'all, you're out. We're bringing in.
So I don't think that people were doubting him as a player, but let's be honest, being a fucking phenomenal player in a team sport does not always equate well to being a great coach. Because there's other coaches right now that have tried to do what Dion did. Who was the running back out of Ohio State that was fucking phenomenal?
Eddie George.
Eddie George. He is not having the same success, right? So just because you're a fucking phenomenal player and you were not, you didn't win a Super Bowl, and I'm not knocking what he did.
I mean, but let's be honest.
Hold on. You were on a Super Bowl winning team, or you're on a national base, a championship baseball team. Doesn't always equate that you are going to have the ability to take your talent and transition into teaching your talent, right? So I think people, and I'm thinking went against that and thought just because you're a great player doesn't make you a great coach.
Right.
And he went to Jackson State and was a great coach, and now he's come to Colorado and he's proving I am what I said I was, right? I am a great coach. Yeah. But I don't think you can say, well, just because he was a phenomenal athlete equates to being a great coach. That doesn't always work out.
No. I'm looking at it from when he came from Jackson State. But I will tell you this. Deion Sanders is lucky they changed them rules in the NCAA. Did you see the lineup of people that were at the Colorado game, dude?
Oh, yeah.
They had Lil Wayne walking them dudes out in the tunnel to come on the field.
That's
the dudes at Colorado State was like, we're screwed.
Megan nailed it. That's what I was trying to say. Like, it's different, right? D3s and different programs don't offer scholarships, so it is harder. But no,
for sure.
And people are just, it's Dion. So yeah, he's got the fucking Dog and Pony Show and Lil Wayne and them there. But I don't think that affects Dion at all. I think he's just going to do his fucking thing if fucking
But
whoever
people
shows
believe,
up.
man.
Right.
He just made people believe, and that's
and-
the thing.
And here's the catch. Lil Wayne and all these motherfuckers, y'all are on Dion's dick. Y'all ain't in Colorado because y'all didn't give a fuck about Colorado. Y'all didn't give a fuck about Colorado when Colorado wasn't shit. But now y'all want to ride the Dion wave. We all are riding it. Great.
They just supporting it. They supporting it, man. That's all. I don't think it's riding. I think it's supporting because there's a bigger picture to it, right? It's a bigger picture. Who doesn't root for the underdog, right? And then when you look at it where we're at, that's what it is. But look, we got Josh in the building. I know he's been trying to get in. If you let Al talk, he'll talk till tomorrow about how he doesn't love Dion, but he loves Dion.
I didn't say that, bro.
We know you don't love him, but you do love him, but you don't love him because you do love him. Josh, come on in, my man. Bring Josh on in, Todd.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, Josh?
Shit.
Where's he at?
Hey, man. You see, I'm up in the man cave.
Hey, do me a favor.
on,
Turn your
can
phone
I say
sideways.
Turn your phone
look at
sideways, Josh. Turn your
it's
phone
an
sideways.
It's an
Yeah,
iPad,
turn it
Same
sideways.
thing. Same thing.
There
There
you
you
go.
Okay.
We just wanted to see that ugly ass Georgia sign on your wall.
Yeah, I want to see all that Georgia decor in there.
Hey, that's my boy.
Hey,
man.
that I got the Atlanta Braves up there for the World Series,
Oh, that's all right.
and then
Yeah.
hold on. Oh,
There
it
you
goes Georgia over there on the other side.
Oh, country motherfucker.
Yeah.
Own it. Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, welcome
Atlanta
to the
Braves,
show.
they won the World Series.
So, yeah, a bunch of times.
What's up, man? So what you got, man?
So, hey, hey, Todd, let Josh make his picks. Go ahead, Josh, because we ain't got much time. We're gonna let you make some
Yeah.
picks.
So I'm
Next
gonna
week.
go with Colorado. I'm gonna go to Colorado for one because, like I said, man, Dion. When I grew up, I had a Dallas Cowboy like bedroom suit with the Troy Aikman
Hello, best
jersey.
friend.
I had a Troy Aikman jersey. I had a Michael Irvin jersey, and then I had a Emmitt Smith jersey and a Dion jersey. You know, it was the ones you got from JCPenney catalog. You know, but yeah, nah, man. So we got that. I got Colorado for sure.
Over
For
Oregon.
sure. Well, let's go back to the
A&M
first
and
ones.
Auburn.
I got A&M because Auburn ain't shit.
Damn.
And then, of course, you know, we got Georgia because they're playing Kmart varsity team. You know, so
UK
and
or
I got
Vandy?
UK because UK is, you know, they're
Fucking
underrated,
scary.
but SEC
you got?
is SEC.
Who you
because
got?
it-
FSU or Clemson? No, let's go. That's a hard pick.
Mhm.
Auburn and Texas A&M
So-
are a hard pick, and so is that one.
Well, so FSU, man. So you know, my dad was my dad. He led you through your journey.
My
But,
Mason journey. Shout out Big John, Big John Morris.
So my father's a huge FSU fan, and that's what I grew up with. So I'm gonna go with the FSU for sure. They
When you deploying,
For sure.
Josh? I thought you were deploying soon. When you leaving?
got a couple weeks, man. Our stuff ain't popped yet. Our mission ain't popped yet, so we're still in limbo. But
And you're with Special Boat 2. Who you with now? Right now,
20.
Special Boat 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Hey,
Josh,
what
my
was that
question.
Colorado Oregon pick again?
He picked
picked
Colorado.
Colorado.
I got Colorado.
He picked Colorado. So,
All
Josh,
right,
tell
I
us
just want to
this,
make sure I
man.
wrote them all down.
So I know you've been watching the podcast for a while, man. What is it about this podcast that you like?
Man, dude, I don't know where to start. It's you've had all your experiences, and then but you have these guys that come on here and they spill themselves out, and they whoever what's his last guy's name? I want his contact.
Birdo 5.
Dude, it was like these dudes that are people don't understand that yes, we have a job and this is our job, right? Every day. But they don't understand or what it entails what happens after the fact, per se. We are so embedded in the day-to-day life that we don't even ourselves don't even understand what is going on until the dust settles, everything's done, we're back home, and we're just like we're waiting for something to happen, and we have a tendency to tie the stuff into our households. You know what I mean? It's like, so my wife, so my last command, I was at, for instance, my last command, I was at NT. I was so tied up in the job and so tied up into training and driving and doing that stuff, right? And making sailors become CBs, and it was a transition, so we think, and then to make them drive to where we want to go. But we're so self-centered and focused on that. We go home, and then sometimes it's hard to turn it off.
Yep.
So you start talking to, I start talking to my freaking, well, my daughter my oldest just turned 7, but she, at the time, she was 4, 5, and I'm just sitting here just talking to her as she knows what I'm talking. Well, she knows what I'm talking about, and she knows what I need her to do. That's not the case. She's a child.
So you're treating her like she's one of your
she's
troops.
in the military.
Yeah,
and
she's one of your troops.
And my wife is so quick to tell me, she is like, Josh, we are not your troops. We are not one of your sailors.
Right.
And that is the hardest thing, because you run into a brick wall and you're just like, oh my gosh.
Right.
You are completely right. And that's why I said what I said. That long message that I said was because our wives are literally our rock. At least for me, she is literally my rock, because she is way smarter than me. She's the one that pushed me to go to college to get my degree and further my degree. And she may have did a couple classes, English classes for me, but but still, you know what I mean? She helped me out so much, but they don't get the recognition they deserve, because as fucked up as I am in the head, and I've been texting Albert, or Al, as y'all call. I know him as Albert because he was
you and my mama.
You know his grown-up name? Uh-oh.
Yeah, man. As a matter of fact, I mean, I know him as Albert, but it was I've known them, and they drove this red Escort, this Ford Escort hatchback. You know what I mean?
Escort service, baby. Escort service, baby.
But no, it was. But I grew up with his little brother, and I know this wasn't my time. I know you're past due, whatever you got to do, but
no, you got time, bro. You have time.
How this all happened was one of Albert's little brother's friends, which was my friend, and we were all together. We went to Albert's house, and I was a baseball player, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm good, dude, whatever. And I grew up with some trouble guys, and they went to go talk to Albert. I wasn't even there in the conversation, pretty much. I was just there as a buddy.
Along for the ride.
Moral support.
And he started saying all this stuff, man. I was like, dude, that's fucking pretty cool, dude. And again, it was all fucking lies. I'm joking, man. I'm joking, man. It was, I saw pictures, so it was true, but it was, I was like, it was so captivating, and I was he had a way with talking with people, and I was like,
He made you believe.
man, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And out of the three of us, his brother, our friend, and me,
Yeah,
I was the one that took the bait.
Oh, so he took two
And-
attrites and one shipped. We got it.
Yeah.
But no, I took the bait, man, and I was like, that's what I want to do, man. Because I knew we have an older brother who's Albert's age, and he was in college, and he went to college, and he did that stuff. But I was like, man, dude, I play baseball, man. I partied too hard. I was like, I will not get in college. And we took an ASVAB, and it was like, I bombed it. And he's like, look, bro, this literally, and what they called me, him and there was some BM, cool as shit, but they like, we're Michael Vick and this dude. And they just sent me at the maps. I got a 35 on the ASVAB, dude.
All good EOs get
And-
35.
And barely made it, dude. That was the cutoff line at the time. Now it's like
Yep.
5.
I was like 5.
But anyways,
Yeah.
so I took the ASVAB, I did that, and I came back, and I was like, look, man, they go, what do you want to be? It was like an ABH something. And
He wanted to be a doctor. He
whatever.
wanted to be a surgeon.
Whatever.
35
Whatever
I-
gets him to go on a boat.
No, I only had 2 jobs. It was like ABH and
Bosa mate.
something else. And I was like, it could have been. And I was like, I want to be a CB because that's what Albert was. And he's like, well, we got EO. That's a CB. And I'm like, I'll take it. And I did it. And dude, it changed my life, and it changed my life for the better because I have done, to be honest with you, I've never been to a CB battalion. I've always been with special, like the special operations, special warfare type side of the house, and minus the 2 tours I did with amphibious construction battalion, and then I taught A school. Even though I was with the cool side of the house, teaching A school was probably the most rewarding and most satisfying job I've ever had because you got these people from all over the world, to be honest with you, and you're able to make an impact on them.
So you
Even
mean to
if
tell
they're
me
older than you?
you mean to tell
Go
me
ahead.
you mean to tell me they let you teach and you had a 35 LQT? What the hell is going on with the damn Navy, man? What are we doing right
He just
now?
told you now it's a 5.
Hey.
It's all
my
good.
goodness.
Yeah, no, but after that, man, with his help, I got 2 college degrees, man, and
There
I
you go.
actually used the GI Bill to
Yeah.
my advantage because my wife, and that was after the fact. I met my wife, but it
What's your-
was
What's your wife's name?
go ahead.
What's your wife's
Her
name?
name's Courtney.
Shout out to Courtney. Courtney, you brought him in, you stayed by his side, you loved him, you got him all geared up, got him going to school. Look at him, he's smiling, he's teaching. Shout out to you.
Yeah, man. That was probably the most satisfying because I didn't only teach them their job. It got to the fact where I became up into the NMT shop, and that's where you mainly teach militarization and the military bearing and all that other stuff. But they got on a personal level, and it was like, I was like, look, listen, I made them. I felt like I made them grow in a sense, you know.
Mhm.
And they changed their lives, and it was amazing to me, and that was probably the best part of my career, I say. But I came back to NSW because that's what I love to do, man. And it's like I'm about to roll out in about 2.5 weeks, and but
Well,
I'm still.
Tell
I
your
gotta
wife,
be
no
being-
bullshit. Hey,
I got-
you
Yeah.
tell Courtney, Josh, if while you're gone, if she needs anything, she needs help, she needs somebody to talk to, like this podcast, we're here for her as well. Right? If she
Yeah.
wants to call and needs whatever, bro,
Yep.
we're right now. I mean, I'm right down on the corner. Whatever she needs, if she has an issue, I don't give a shit if her damn water heater goes out. Tell her to pick the phone up and reach out to this podcast or reach out to one of us. And I promise you're my brother, bro. I give you my word. we'll take care of her. We'll help her out as much as you need, bro. So
Yeah.
make sure she knows she has a support system as well, just like you always do. And I know you didn't mention this, and Scott hasn't asked yet, but he's a chief petty officer in the Navy as well. He's one of us. So
Yep. And so this the thing too, Josh. That you know, I'm the asshole, and it's late, so I got to get.
Oh,
you.
here it goes.
The question, no. The question I asked you was, what did you like about the podcast show? You know what I mean? You told us a little bit, but then you went all the way down the mountain. You know what I mean?
Dude,
so I had to bring you back. Bring you back. So what you love our hero. Our hero is your hero.
That's my boy.
Well, he's our hero. Our hero is the start of Chief Morris, man. I'll say that because I wouldn't be where I am if it didn't start where he was.
Mm-hmm.
But about your podcast is that you touch on the hardest subjects that no one wants to talk about, and they'll bring them to light.
Yeah.
It's
We're here for you, bro.
Yes, sir. That's what we
You
here
got
for,
Got
my
you,
brother.
brother. I love you, homie.
Yep, and that's why you here.
We love you, bro.
Yeah, man. Outstanding.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
Ty,
know
bring
we
us
love
all in. Bring us all in, Ty. Bring us all in.
We love you, bro.
And this is the reason why we wanted you to come.
Y'all make it happen, and that's why it's like every. I mean, and that was one thing when I'll tell you one thing. We're all in it. When we went to go meet the mess, and if this is a secret that gets spewed, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But it was, why are you here? And that's a question y'all all have had to answer.
Yep.
Why are you here? And it's because of the people below me. Well, not below me. It's my junior troops, but my family. If it wasn't, one strong point was, if it wasn't from family support, it was the guys that you have brought up. And that is one thing I write in every charge that I have write. Never forget where you come from, and don't forget who the guys who have led to help you get here. Because and stay humble and be yourself. And this is me, man. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a sap, dude. I will watch the Notebook, man, and I'll get killed. I'm not ashamed of it. You know what I mean? Because you know what? I grew up to be I grew up to be just be a genuine person, man. Can I be an asshole? Yes, I can be an asshole when it's time to me, but at the end of the day, I still love you, and I'm going to treat you, and that's what I see with all four of these photos, all four of these brothers. You know what I mean? And it's like it's home. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I can come here and get it on Thursday, but I'm still active duty, so I get it every day, and it's still home. You know what I mean? I know you don't have the boys every day and the camaraderie. You don't have the musters and stuff like that, right? But I can come here on a Thursday, and it's just you're back at home, man. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know how to explain it to other people, but the shit talking and the getting on each other, it's just, and that's what it's like, man. It's like you like if I see one of you and you're like, hey, what's up, motherfucker? You're faggot or something, whatever, and then you know, civilians are like, what? And then they're like, you're hugging each other. They don't get it. You know what I mean? It's like it's just, I feel the camaraderie we build with each other through the time that we're in the service and the time that we spend away from our family. I think when we're gone, I think it's harder for our family than it is harder for us, because when we're gone, we come like this
Right.
together. So
But they
we're
don't have
close.
that.
We have that. They don't.
Right.
So they have to find that. And if, luckily for my wife, she is from where I'm at right now, so she has her entire family here, but it's just different. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. And it's just the camaraderie and the love and it doesn't matter what your job was in the military. It doesn't matter what branch you served in. I mean, I worked with, the last 3 years I was at Fort Leonard Wood.
That's the greatest place on earth, by the way. That's
Actually,
where real
to be
CBs
honest,
are made, Albert.
No, seriously. Okay.
Actually, no, to be honest with you, if we had family there, I would stay there, man.
Yeah,
because
it's
it
good.
was awesome, man. Other than, working on Fort Leonard Wood, controlled by the Army, but
Gotta love them cattle trucks.
oh, dude, it was those are the times. They don't even have, so all the cattle trucks have AC in them now, but
Oh, what the fuck,
and then
dude?
all of our troops ride by bus. But
I
anyhow,
felt like a
man,
true
it's-
cattle going to A school. Like all you got was the wind through the hole in the cattle truck, like you see all the other trucks in Missouri going down the road with the actual cows in them. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's right. But
Well, Josh, I just want you to know, man, that you're at home here. We
Always.
appreciate your vulnerability. I know there's a lot of emotion and stuff built up in, what this means to you and what having that background and that camaraderie means for a lot of us. We're overwhelmed with emotion on how that works. But that's why we wanted to bring you in, man, because that's what we wanted as a podcast, is for that to be therapeutic to people that's on the outside that need to understand and feel what it is that we feel. Whether we never make $1 doing this podcast, that's not what none of us are in it for. It's in it to reach out and have an open platform for veterans and friends and families and wives to come to and just get the real deal, man. So we appreciate you popping in and just being vulnerable with us for a little bit, man, because it's all love here. Like I say, a lot of times we're loved based on the condition, but it's unconditional love in here, man. And that's one thing that I want to spread out through this podcast, man. So I really appreciate you, man, just spilling your heart out with us, man. You loved here, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Dude, it felt like meeting the mess all over again.
Well,
dude,
I want to.
Meeting the mess was a tough time for me, man.
Yeah.
And it was, but once once you said that though, and it was once I did meet the mess, it was, I heard in the background when I heard a fuck yeah, dude, you got it, bro. And I was
yeah.
And I was like,
yeah,
no
I tell
cares,
you,
man.
I'll tell you,
Just
Josh.
keep yourself, bro.
One thing I want to tell you is good luck on the next journey you're going to. We appreciate your service because you're in there doing the hard work right now. It's good to see Chiefs out there still leading from the front. So that's always amazing to see. But just like we learned on that day that you're talking about, you're going to hear it one day. Me, Scott, and Al heard it from our retirement ceremony. Same goes for Ty, because he served for his country for a long time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is whether you're in the active or the retired roles and you're a chief petty officer, you're always there to lead and help people. And so that's a lot of what we're doing right now, is trying to lead that from the front, right? So share it with anybody you know, tell them to get on and look at it. And like Scott said, I appreciate the vulnerability and you coming on and talking. And, if there's ever anything you need, let us know. And, just don't forget to drop us a line from now and then and let us know how you're doing if you're able to do that wherever you're going, and good luck and stay safe.
No, man, thank you. I appreciate it.
Josh, I'm going to talk right into the camera when I tell you this, buddy. I was a sergeant first class in the Army. I was a very big personality, but at the same time, I was probably that guy that people would come to because they knew that they could share their problems. I'm a big sentimental guy as well. So kudos to you for sharing your story. But let me tell you what you're going to do in this next couple of weeks. You're going to go over there and you're going to be a hellacious chief petty officer in the Navy. I don't know exactly what your rate is. I don't know what you do, but I know from your comments, I know from you being associated with these other three brothers of mine, I know that you're going to go forth and you're going to kick this journey's ass. Wherever you're going with deployments, don't tell no secrets. But I'm proud of you, brother. You're a friend of the podcast now. You're officially the second squad leader for the Triple Threat Vets Platoon. Thank you. And we will support you during your journey.
Deployment, yep.
Deployment. And you let your family know. Tune in. If you need anything, you let us know, brother.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
y'all mean the world to me, man, for real.
Love you, brother.
That's exactly what we're trying to do.
Shout out to my man Eric Mendes in the
I see
thing.
him hanging in there. And
That's
make
right.
sure you send me an address, Josh, so I can get over to Matt so we can see if we can hook you up.
Yeah. Megan too. I see Megan Carr in there. What's going on?
Yeah,
and my girl Becky's still tuned in with us. I know my wife came up here. She looked in the thing like, "You still on the podcast?" I'm like, "Yes, baby."
I'm off.
We're doing 2.5 hours a day.
Bro, I'm off tomorrow. I'm about to go outside. My wife's already in bed. As soon as I get off this podcast, I'm about to go outside and finish all these cold beers. Word of mouth, got to try to Ty's house.
That's all good. So, hey, real quick, though, I mean, I know that we're about to be out. I know we went a little long today, but I tell you what, anytime we get a chance to talk to someone like Josh that's out there doing it today and keeping us free in the country, we appreciate doing it. But for everybody that's out there, I want y'all to know that this Sunday in the afternoon, we'll drop a time on our Facebook page and social medias. Y'all need to tune in because we're going to be out at Sugarland, Texas at the Space Cowboy Stadium. They got a veteran versus celebrity softball game going on. And these guys have allowed us to have full access. I don't know what that means when Owls gets on the field. I'm interested to see, but we're going to be commentating the game. We're going to bring it to you guys live here on the podcast channel so that we can see these veterans out there playing with celebrities and camaraderie and sports and, you know, just playing a game. And so tune in. Make sure you send us some questions, get on there and get your comments in like you guys always do. And we're just excited to see you guys on Sunday. So I just wanted to make sure we let everybody know that we're going to be live from that game on Sunday, and we'll share more details on the page this week as we get more.
Yes, sir. All right.
Hey, Josh, do me a favor. I'm going to drop you off, but do not hang up. When we end this broadcast, we're going to come back and talk to you. So stay on for me, buddy. All right?
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. Future guests we got coming up. So on 20 September, we got
hey!
Rudd. Yeah. So this guy deployed with me a couple times with the 716th MP Battalion straight out of Fort Leonard Wood. I love that place as well. I didn't want to interject while y'all were talking, but I absolutely love that place too. So Dustin Rudd, this is really why we brought Berto on today to give a clinical perspective from this, because I don't want our show to be something to where we're saying you should use this or we're recommending you should try this. That's not at all what it is. This is totally just a perspective. So Dustin Rudd, Staff Sergeant, United States Army. You see he's a triple stack there, Airborne Air Assault Combat Action Badge. He was PSD for multiple field grade officers. So he's a warfighter team from Fort Campbell that went over to Fort Leonard Wood and just absolutely destroyed and decimated all the competition. So he's a real soldier. So he's going to talk about his journey with psychedelics. That's going to be a lot of fun. So that's coming up 28 September. Dustin Rudd, Staff Sergeant, Army, talking about psychedelics and his journey with making him, maybe forget his ego, maybe forget his pain, whatever that may be. He was telling me some stories today. There's a lot, and I didn't realize so much stuff had happened to my brother. So that's another reason we all need to keep in touch with each other. But Dustin's going to be here the 28th of September.
I hope Dustin don't kick my ass, man. Because when you told me, I thought I heard you say Eddie Murphy was coming on. You said Hetty Murphy was coming on.
Hetty, 5 head.
The head detective. Head of the game.
I don't have a picture of
start.
Daniel Street yet, but on 5 October, Daniel Street will be coming on. Hey, Daniel, send you boys some pictures of you and send us a good bio if you're listening.
I've got his
but he's going to be on the.
My apologies, Ty. I've got
it. No, it's all good. I didn't ask. I'm not bad producer. So yeah, Daniel Street, 5 October. And then this is one of my first leaders in the military that I just absolutely looked up to and revered. I mean, this guy did everything in a leadership position, from team leader to squad leader, platoon sergeant, every one of them. He was exemplary. So I'm really looking forward to having Command Sergeant Major retired Rich Woodring on. He was the MP, Military Police Corps Regimental Sergeant Major. I think he retired as the Pentagon Command Sergeant Major, or Military District of Washington, which includes the Pentagon. So lots of stories, lots of wisdom, and we'll be, chopping it up with him. Let's see. There you go, Scott. You're up, buddy.
It's me?
Yeah,
Well,
it's you now.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all my podcast friends. That part?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, well, thank you all for tuning in again for another week of the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. I am DJ Royal T. To my left is my man, Matt Johnson. To my bottom left, Ty Cobb. And underneath, the big man himself, Al Hero. Anytime that you can, share the love. Let somebody know that we're here. Tune in, be there, or be square. We love you guys. Anything that you got for me, Matt, up on the top?
No, I'm good.
My man, TY, what you got for me? All right, my man, Big Al Hero. Cut it out. All right, we out of here. Go see you. We'll see you next week, next Thursday. Be there, be square. I am DJ Royal T. This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. And until next week, peace and love.